You should probably start
And
because
we're
I already hit the button. I hit the button before you this time.
Ah,
Yeah,
darn it! I thought I had you.
because you're like,
Should've
oh,
said
you're
something.
like, okay, and I'm like,
Shit.
don't say anything you shouldn't. Welcome everyone to the Scale Builders Guild,
Welcome here as also.
to these
However,
Harleydesigns.
yes,
I think that's how it's said.
things are busy.
Oh, you
It's a
have
good-
no
we should-
idea.
Yeah, it's busy for me at least.
Busy for me as well.
We do have Randall on tonight.
Oh,
from Axial,
Randy.
the project manager with Axial,
Mm-hmm.
who was in charge of the new Rift.
The old news Rift.
I mean, it's been out like a week now, almost two. Like,
Well, it's been
What else can
out
you-
in that it's been released. I don't think there's.
Right.
I don't think anybody else, other than you, RC Driver, and the actual
RC Sparks.
RC Sparks, yes, and then
Yeah.
Rock Bouncing Man.
Oh yeah, the guys down. Yeah, the guys down in. But I actually think we saw a couple people get them recently,
Well, that's great.
or at least I think I did. So, yes,
That's excellent.
I do have us flipped on the live feed today,
What?
but not necessarily on purpose. But I have two scenes set up in the broadcaster. One is for like when we have guests, like tonight,
Yes.
and evidently this is like the old setup where I used to be on this side.
It's so strange. So I'm
I
on
know.
the same side on both streams. It's very odd.
That is odd. Continuity.
Welcome everyone. Make sure you're checking in, letting us know where you are watching from.
Yep.
Um,
What street are you watching from this week?
What's the temperature where you are? In Kelvin, so we all know.
Yeah, exactly. That's Celsius plus 276, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Who'd have thought?
Yes.
Yeah, thanks everybody for checking in. Finding some interesting street names, we'll see.
Yeah. Brandon Haynes said, "How high are y'all?" And I'm only assuming that he means at what elevation above sea level I'm at.
Right.
I'm I think I'm slightly below sea level where I am. So there you go. I know
Really?
Josh is quite higher up because he's in the northern region of California.
No, I'm at like 100 feet of elevation, maybe 80.
Oh, is that all?
Yeah. We are north. Yes.
I like it when
So-
Josh Waite said, "Hey Matt, currently in Eden, Ohio. Currently, are you not always in Eden, Ohio? Let me know. Let me know in the comments." Well, hey,
Also, like to do it yourself.
I'm not sure. Well, remember when he tries to do it again on the speed date? She's like, "Is there something
This is
wrong
weird.
with you?
Yeah.
Are you impaired in some way?"
I have not. I haven't watched 4-Year-Old Virgin in a long time.
Well, you know what?
Good
You
movie.
should watch it again soon because you're getting on in years. And
Right. Nicole and I were talking about it's one of her cousin's birthdays tonight, and
happy
he will
birthday.
be. It's I remember one of the first like big trips Nicole went on. We went, her and I went to Vegas together,
Yeah.
and it was for her cousin's 30th birthday. And she's like, "Man, he's almost 40." And I was like, "Well, no, he is 40 because like this will be our 10 years." I was like, "Oh wait, no,
Yeah.
it'd be a little off." So yeah, it's 39.
It's
Like,
39.
man, I was thinking how much older he was than me. I'm like, "Oh wait,
Oh.
no."
It's like
I was just
yeah. It's like when I remind myself that now I'm going into my 44th year. I'm old, and I'm feeling it everywhere. Oh, he's a truck driver. It's just shutting down for the night. Okay, it makes a lot more sense now. Thank you for watching. There was something I wanted to tell. So you're not doing. This is what I wanted to say. This was big news to me and kind of sad because Well, I'll tell you why it's sad in a minute, but no more STL Sunday, huh?
Right. I have decided to end the STL Sunday live stream. It just was not. It wasn't gaining, like the last. I realized, I was like, man, I should try. And I looked. I was like, this is the 31st or 32nd episode.
You've done a lot.
I gave that a pretty fair shake.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm just surprised that it wasn't getting sort of the growth or the viewership that you were hoping for.
Exactly. Like the last live feed had like 130 people. Yeah. And the live feed the first 5 weeks was probably 110. Like, so it was like the growth in that, like,
not very much.
Yeah.
Well,
so, and the after the fact views, not that high either. It's just, it doesn't have a lot of viewer interaction, which is what is best for live streams.
That's true.
So yeah.
That's disappointing though. I enjoyed it. I never printed anything until today.
What? You were printing the pallet jack?
Yeah, I printed the pallet jack because that's something I definitely don't need, and I was like, why not waste some filament on this? So
yeah, but you know what?
It turned out pretty good. I used bearings down here. Was that the right thing to do?
Yep.
Okay, good. And then I glued the top swivel mount in place.
Same as I did as well.
But then what I realized is that I glued it in backwards, so the wheels don't spin. But who cares?
You managed to take a very good Harley design and SBG it. So.
I hardly designed it.
Yeah.
But I put some stickers on it. I put a Scale Builders Guild sticker on there, and a Hoonigan sticker.
You know what?
And I also put a bumper sticker on there because I figured why not? It says, "Darns, I sure as fudge don't give 'em." So.
Wow.
Yeah, but nice little toy there. When I was printing it though, also again, I totally SBG'd it. I wasn't paying attention to the fill that I had on the bottom half, so it was all 85% fill. I was like, whoa, why is this taking 14 hours?
Plenty strong for a pallet jack there.
It's never gonna break.
Yeah, I think I printed mine in like 7 hours.
Yeah, I probably, but you probably did one color.
Yeah, that is very true. Because I just set it up overnight and walked away.
It's nice. I did a pretty good job with it, I think, except for all of the errors that I made. But nice design, and sort of I wanted to make this to thank you for all the hard work on STL Sundays, because I know it's a lot of effort, even for somebody as talented as you, to make all these designs and make stuff like this. So it means a lot.
Fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was. I did enjoy it.
It's not so far off in terms of scale. I mean, it's probably a little big.
No, I mean it is little. It is 1/10 scale, but I mean even next to that, it doesn't look ridiculous.
No.
So
maybe we'll just it does look pretty ridiculous. I'll print a smaller one.
There you go. Scale her down. So yeah, that was. It's not like I couldn't draw pointless things on my own time. I guess I only found time to draw pointless things when I was wasting other people's time as well. But evidently, I felt that I wasn't wasting enough people's time, so it wasn't worth the waste of time.
Yeah, you gotta really put some serious effort into wasting their time, and that's why I like to do Lightroom Live on Tuesday nights.
Exactly.
You want to really waste some time.
Do some live streams on Sunday, same time slot and all that.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I could adjust, whatever, but gonna kind of play around with some different premises during that time that are more viewer focused, so that I can continue to go into that.
Scratch Building Sunday.
Yeah, exactly. You can sit there and watch me sand styrene.
Yeah, it sounds riveting.
But so yeah, play around with some things there and just see see
Put
what sucks the least.
put your suggestions in the chat. What you think Josh should do on Sunday nights?
Yeah, I do want it to be. My main thing is that I want it to be more interactive with people. That is one thing that I really like about the Lightroom Live that you do is that you're using viewers' photos.
Yeah,
and I think that's I enjoy your Lightroom Live.
Thank you.
I think that it's fun to see, and
I appreciate that.
A little more vignette would always go a long way, but
a little more really heavy contrast and just blast those colors in. I thoroughly enjoy it, and I think that the people who are watching like it too. It's not for everyone, but it is something that I think translates a little bit. Like there are people who have definitely followed my advice and followed some of my tutorial style work and have started correcting their own photos using Lightroom Mobile or Lightroom on their PCs, and it's it's super fun. It's great to see the results, I think, too, when people post them.
Yeah, it is, but you're seeing other people's trucks, and while you're so good at not criticizing other people, which
oh man, Lightroom Live on Josh's channel would be a lot different of a show.
You know what? That's what we're gonna do on Sundays now. I'm just going to judge your people are gonna send photos. I'm gonna judge your truck. Judge your truck Sundays.
You could call it. There's got to be an alliteration we can make up that'll work for that.
Right.
Yeah, like slamming Sundays. You just slam other people's rides. What did somebody said something funny? These comments are flowing here. Andy C said, "One man's fillet is another man's vignette," which is an excellent reference to when we both did the reverse, and Josh corrected photos, and I just used the fillet tool.
Yeah. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a big fan of the fillet tool.
Oh,
it'll fancy up some designs pretty quickly. Man,
it'll make everything look better.
You know what? So, I'd like constructive criticism. So yes, we're gonna go ahead and do that on Sunday, where I'm just gonna have people send in photos, and I'm going to judge their.
You're gonna put the photo up, and you go, nope, I can't even do this one. And you just go on to the next one. How rude.
We'll call it. Let's see what we can call it. How many subscribers can I lose Sundays?
Subscriber lost Sunday. Yeah, that's it. That's perfect. Oh, you don't like my truck? Well, I don't like your channel. Oh,
you know what? You get one more dislike every time you upload a video.
How about you do? You could. What some of the things are coming in here? Truck roast Sunday.
Why did you do that Sunday?
I wouldn't have done that Sunday. I don't. Oh, how about you change the show and put it on Friday night, and we can just call it Flex Friday.
Listen, Fridays are busy.
Yeah, you've got a lot of wine to drink, and almost that cat last week almost knocked over that monitor, or did knock over the monitor, right? There was something that fell forward, and you guys were like,
"Yeah, was that last Friday?"
Yes.
I think it could have been. It's hard to remember. Yeah, she climbed up. I have my two monitors are in front of me here, but they're stacked.
Yes.
On top of each other. And she climbed up behind the one, and then she stood on it. The whole thing, just the whole arm just goes, which it moves in that direction, but just
slowly.
It's not. Yeah, it's just not what it's supposed to do.
So, did you buy anything this week?
I bought lots of things this week.
So did I. How many tiny truck related things did you buy?
Everything is tiny truck related in some way.
I know where this is going. I don't want to see all that junk.
So, I have a new thing that I would. I got it's not very hard to talk me into things, as we've found by my Instagram ad purchases. However,
Get a
this
square
is
maker.
for another thing. Circle maker, thank you.
No. You
But
bought a
I
square
purchased-
maker to go with the circle maker.
Yeah, ooh, I wonder if they have it. I think I have the hard adjustable square. Ooh, that could be cool.
It would look like a
But-
crop tool. I can't believe
I bought this.
Nobody cares.
The Milwaukee pack out set. I bought multiple pieces, but
I know
it's,
why you bought it, because you've got a Gladiator now and you need to make sure that bed is full at all times.
not a bad idea either. But in addition to, the pack out system is very cool because it's got little buttons, and then they attach to each other, and then you can get like half versions and thicker and thinner, and then you can get a cooler. They have a vacuum.
A vacuum,
Can-
so you
just
can
imagine-
clean all the junk out of it every time.
Yeah, or your truck. So, in addition to
Tim,
these things,
Tim said,
I didn't actually own.
let me just get
Yes.
this comment out. Tim, Small Factory, said, Josh purchased a new beard holder for his nightstand. You just like take it off and put it over there. Oh, I'm so tired of wearing it.
And then since I didn't actually own any of the Milwaukee cordless tools, I figured I needed to do that. So I bought the rotary tool.
This stream not brought to you by Milwaukee.
It's not. It should be. But, and then of course, once I did this, I was like, okay, well now this needs to become what my traveling. This is like my traveling RC box. That's the only thing, right?
You're gonna be so obnoxious if you show up anywhere with that thing.
Yes.
Does anybody have? And you'll go, yes.
Yes, I do.
Did anybody
Because-
bring? Yes. All the events you're going
Once
to.
I did that, I also created a whole list of the things that I need for it. You're not going to see that. But let me tell you, it's extensive.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
And
Things you're going to need to buy. BT, thanks very much for the $10. Evening.
hey, BT, yes,
Good evening.
Thank you, BT.
And
always
Roland's, Gergermanis, thank you for the €5. How to Waste Money Sunday, presented by Josh. Josh would excel at that, honestly.
Oh, I could have so much fun with that. This, and then I bought some of the specialty foam so that I can, normally you would like trace your tools out and cut it out, but I'm not very good at like the whole hand-eye coordination thing. So I bought the bits, the best bits for cutting it on my CNC router. So then I can CAD up my toolbox design. And then if I ever change tools, I can cut new ones and it'll be perfect.
I am so bored.
How to overcomplicate a toolbox.
Like TR Jones just said, it's a big purse for Josh.
I'm okay with that.
It's a.
Remember, I fully subscribe to the fanny pack lifestyle.
Oh, you do?
So
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I forgot you are into that.
I just wish that they were more socially acceptable so I could wear them daily.
I feel yeah. You might get some looks.
I'm not going to do I care just enough about my personal appearance that I won't do that. But only barely.
I am probably you know what? I would just wear it. Knowing me, I would just wear it. RC Dave charged up. Thanks for the $5. Yeah, look at all that stuff he buys with all the donated money from his subs each week. But yet he can't finish the giveaway truck.
No, that's still in the works. Don't worry.
Oh boy. I'm honestly, if I get mine given away before you do.
Now, right. Now, what I haven't shown is that I actually cut the bed off on mine because I hated the tube work.
Oh, so you're starting again.
Well, I've got that mostly. I finished that a little while ago, but I hate. It's got to go. So I cut that once the body, have everything else done. It's in good shape. Well, again, one person's going to win that. Like, I'd rather it just be a cool, fun project. So when it's done, that person wins it.
Well, that's good. Good
So,
for you.
and Dale C, thank you very much. Welcome to the Milwaukee rabbit hole. I fell down it hard last year, but they are so pretty. Next purchase will be their soldering iron. See, I really like that little TS100 soldering iron like you have as well,
I
Matt.
love that thing.
Because it plugs into your regular XT60 batteries, and it's so nice.
It just heats up so fast too. Like on 4S, that thing just boop. Okay, let's start soldering.
Yeah, it's to full temp in like 10 seconds.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So,
and great value too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Evan Moore, I can help you with that. How do the RC four-wheel drive Wrangler MTR tire directions go? I'm struggling with mounting them properly. This is like my favorite thing in the whole world. I love the Wrangler MTR. All right. Did you hear that?
I did definitely hear that.
Okay, so here we are. Front of the truck. God, it looks so weird, but it's so right. You want to have the wider spaced lugs on the outside, on both sides of the truck.
Yeah.
It's asymmetrical. I know it looks so weird, but it's absolutely 100% right.
It does look weird, and I didn't necessarily know that was the correct way.
It's a lot of people look at it and go, your tires are on backwards. No, because then if you had them both...
Which you've been known to do.
Yes. Well, through no fault of my own in some occasions. But yeah, no, with those ones, you definitely have to have the wider lugs on the outside on all four wheels. That's the way to do it. Dirk Gordon, thanks for the $5. And thank you. I think you just joined the Scale Builders Guild. Welcome to the forum. Does he have an extra screaming goat to go in the Milwaukee pack out?
Ooh, I feel like one is the right amount, and it should just travel with you.
I'm just going to do that every time you do it.
Let's add Randall to this call.
I've got so many more things. You got to talk about the things you bought.
Oh, did you?
But I bought things too.
Did you get things?
Yeah.
Okay, we need to go over that.
Okay,
first.
real quick, I bought 4 new receivers, SR515s, because
necessary.
Gotta have them. Because when you have 40 odd trucks, you need those. The finishing piece to the truck.
Now, when did you order that?
I ordered this from RC 4-Wheel Drive on December 14th. And I paid for express shipping. And the funny thing about express shipping from RC 4-Wheel Drive is that I think it just means, well, we'll put it in a box. And then we'll decide at some point much later on to ship that box. And when we do ship it, we know that when it says USPS, DHL, FedEx, UPS under the heading for express shipping, and it says 3 to 7 business days, what that means is we're going to charge you that, but then we'll probably just ship it regular mail. I was so annoyed. It got here yesterday.
So only a month and 4 days. 5 days. Yeah.
Anyway, this is from CC Hand, and it's a light up, strobing or flashing or breathing light up Mercedes logo that wires right into the MFCU.
Oh.
Yeah.
Even
so I
better.
can control it. Control it.
You are the controller. That is nice that it ties into that.
Yeah, and I've also got a few extra ports remaining for my other bright idea that's going to be for that rear shroud to cover the monitor. So I'm pretty excited about that piece. I started doing the tracks conversion on my Mini Z.
Oh my God.
Aren't they adorable? You have to build them. So that took me like 3 or 4 hours.
Did it really?
The tracks, yeah, the tracks have to be built too. So I spent probably an hour per side give or take. But
That's impressive.
it's just so cool. I'm just so chuffed
now,
with this.
I'm-
It looks awesome.
I'm gonna say, they don't appear like they're high traction.
You might think that. But
Okay.
that is wrong. Because in the packaging, you have the option to install 2 different types of traction additions. You can either go with these little tiny pins here, right? This piece comes
Okay.
off this here.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, this triangular bit clips into.
Between the screw.
Yep. No, like it'll go in these holes.
Oh, I see
Yeah?
them. I see the little holes.
Okay. So you can either put those pins in there for added traction, or they also include all these rubber platform grommets. And these go in, and then you have like this nice rubberized, little rubberized grippies.
I don't. Or you could alternate, I suppose. Rubber spike, rubber spike.
I guess so, if you wanted to go crazy, but I'm just going to do rubber.
Yeah, that's wow. I do like that they come as a kit.
Yeah, it's fun to assemble things.
Yes, and if you're going to buy something as useless as tracks, it should at least be something that's going to at least this way you're going to get like 4 or 5 hours of enjoyment out of it when you're building it.
Correct.
Because when you drive it, nothing.
Look, I did not buy these as a performance upgrade. These were given to me by Kyosho because I expressed some interest, and they like me more than you.
And you were the first one. Like, what? This guy? This guy wants? Yes.
They were waiting patiently by the phone.
Like,
please, somebody phone. It's ringing.
I know.
You're being a jerk, but that's fine.
I'm harsh on track.
I think it'll be making for a fun little winter video. Because what I'm going to do is I've got the Blizzard still, so do like a little twofer.
Twofer.
Quack RC, thank you for the $5. Hey man, hope all is well. That sweater was pretty interesting. Oh yeah, I've got it right here actually. I was wearing it earlier, but the battery's dead because I wore it all afternoon in here. On high.
Oh, wow.
It's freezing in here today. It would look better with a Scale Builders Guild logo on it. Just started my Power Wagon body trims. Have a great evening. Thanks for the $5, Quack. All right. I think that's all I purchased. Well, I got one other thing in the mail today. I got the Haas light kit. Haas. I got to start ramping that video up. That's going to be a fun one. All right.
I got that other odd one, but I don't know why they showed up.
Oh yeah, where
I showed you that.
Well, you saw that I got them too, right?
No, I didn't. You got them too?
Yeah, they sent them to me too. I was like, thank you. Thank you. Which is okay. So
okay.
Let's show them. I'm gonna show what I got in the mail. Are you gonna?
Okay, I will grab.
Okay, so Traxxas, I guess this was a new thing for them. They sent us some of their wheels, their Method 105s, pre-mounted with a blue beadlock ring with a silver inner on the trail.
Oh, mine's blue in it. Oh, yeah,
blue.
I see it in the face.
Yeah. Trail Canyon Trail 1.9.
The regular tires.
They're tires. So I was like, okay, neat. Funny story though. This is what I built using their metal beadlock rings for the build-off truck. So, what are you copying me? They're copying me.
I think that what these are going to find their way onto is a flip that truck.
I might. You know what? I've got that black Bronco body or Blazer. Did they? It's a Blazer, right? The black Blazer body.
Yeah.
I've got one of those on the way,
yes.
So maybe they'll go with that.
Okay, I have one other thing to show before we bring Randall on. Sorry, Randall, I'm sure he's watching.
No, Randy's not allowed on anymore. This is the Matt and Josh show. Oh, thanks, Alex. If you are going to copy someone, it's probably Matt and not Josh.
I bought one of those Hobby Plus 18th scale, not the 24 scale. Well, I bought both, but the 24 scale was out, but the 18 show. However, it's basically a 24 scale stretched.
Oh, so still...
Which I think is a big bonus. So it's got a little bit larger tire than like, you know, the C10 at least, which has the smaller tires. But it, like I said, it's basically just a long wheelbase 24 scale. And I was like, oh, dang. I'm actually pretty happy about how they set this thing up.
Okay.
So I've got the 24 scale coming as well. I'm going to run them both. See how they're ring and pinions. So they're not worm gear like the SCX 24s, which I do like in that scale. Kind of smooths things out.
Definitely.
But anyway, that's we'll see. And then if I kind of like it, I can always apply some things from these to the SCX 24 or whatnot. So
all right.
Kind of excited.
Cool.
Randall also in charge of SCX 24 stuff.
That's
so
right.
Talk to him about that.
Definitely talk to him about that.
Adding him to the call now.
All right.
Thank you, Quack RC and RC Date charged up. Appreciate it both. Quack RC, hey man, live.
Hey, there he is. Hi.
Hey guys.
Hey Randall, how's it going?
Hi, Randy.
And
sorry, I gotta work on getting you in here.
That is not very nice to say.
You know what? It wasn't me. It wasn't me who said to say that.
Well, for one, I said Rodney at first. I mean,
yeah, you were kind of stepping on it. That's me.
Matt Kearney told me to call you that.
Oh, now that figures.
But welcome to the show, Randall. For those of you who don't know, Randall is a product developer at Axial, and he's responsible for, and I'm holding you personally responsible for...
Matt, hold up your Rift.
Cool.
Matt, you missed something.
Hey, I don't, you know what? There's other people who are in charge of that, and it's not me.
Yeah.
It's fine. Oh, you've got one too. Neat. No, I don't want that orange one. That thing's ugly.
Send Matt one, please. I'll go halvesies with you.
Oh, well, if you guys are going to buy me one, all right, send it. But Randall's responsible for the Rift most recently, and also for everybody buying 2 SCX 24 Bettys. I think he's also responsible for that, too.
Yes. I hardly designed the Rift. How about that?
Well, you didn't SBG it, though, so it actually drives, which is
exactly. So
much more appropriate.
Both axles go the correct way.
Yeah, it works.
First, thanks CCXRC. He says my 118 scale would look better with tracks, though. So
it's true. Yeah, Randall, he's cutting me up because I put tracks on my SCX or my Mini Z 24 scale.
Oh wait, I'll show you something. Hang on.
Oh boy. Yeah. All right.
I have some tracks.
Yes. Those are those the RC 4-wheel drive ones?
No.
What was that?
They got dropped on the cutting room floor. That's about it.
Close, but no cigar. Someone went, "Hey, this is a terrible idea." Everyone else agreed, and they went, "Agreed."
It was.
We're not going to sell any of these, right?
Randall, are you the longest Axial employee at Axial?
I am now. Yes.
That's what I thought.
Yep. 13 years.
Yep.
13 years.
Yep.
That's so. Yeah. Okay. Well, we just know the 15th anniversary happened. So yeah, just a couple years at the inception, you were you are the survivor.
I believe we talked about this. Yeah, when you first. When you first.
I don't remember. Well,
our first interview with you, the thing you did first was huck stuff from one truck to another. I think that was your first job there. So take some advice from Randall here. you can start at the bottom and make it all the way up to the top.
Right.
Absolutely.
So if you'd like to apply to be the new cardboard bitch at Vanquish, like
Cardboard.
That's what we call ours right now.
I'm sure they love that title too.
He's got a little bit of promotion. He's pretty good.
Now he's cardboard and staples.
Yeah, it's been a long road, man. I've come a long ways from where I started to where I'm at now, and I mean, the pandemic played in my favor. I was able to move out of state.
Right, exactly. Now you can work from pretty much anywhere, and now you're in Hurricane, Utah, right?
Hurricane, get it right.
I did. I got it right.
You got it close. Hurricane.
What did I say?
Hurricane.
Almost. Yeah, exactly. You
say it again.
You had the Canadian twang in there.
Hurricane.
There you go. There's no I in the middle.
Got it. Hurricane.
Hurricane.
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
It's like you're hurricane.
I've seen some pics of where you're living now, and that's a pretty amazing view, I gotta say.
Dude, I definitely don't take it for granted. I get blown away just about every day I look outside and enjoy the view. It's one thing. I just took another picture tonight and was like, oh man, the sunsets, the sunrise, the clear skies. It's epic all the time.
And I have to imagine that it's probably pretty good for the full-size world too.
Yes, I am actually 20 minutes from Sand Hollow State Park, which is Sand Mountain OHV, which is one of the most epic places to go wheeling. Which I don't even air up the tires. The Jeep just sits on the side of the house, deflated to 10, 15 pounds.
Amazing.
Now, when you were in SoCal, now, I mean, in all honesty, we have great terrain out here in California. I mean, there's some epic terrain available. But being that you were in, I don't know, LA Basin, whatever you want to call it, what do they call that area? Like, you couldn't necessarily just get to those amazing locations that easy because you have to get through everything.
Right. It was a 2-hour drive over there typically. You know, to get to Big Bear or to get to Cougar Buttes or to get to Johnson Valley or anything like that, it was, you know, San Diego, whatever, you know, down by the border. It's a 2-hour drive. So to be 20 minutes away, they're actually putting in an expressway that's right around the corner from my house. And once they get that done, it'll actually be about 10 minutes to Sand Hollow. So it'll be a 10-minute drive.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So, I mean,
that's just one place.
Right, exactly.
Right, exactly.
You've got a whole state of amazing places.
Yeah, I mean, Utah is absolutely my favorite place to crawl. So
I've never been.
Moab. From where I used to live, I'm halfway to Moab, where I'm at now.
No kidding. That's great.
So
it's like 6 hours.
Not bad at all.
No, that's amazing. So go ahead, Josh.
You know, like looking at, I had visited Axial before. I remember when the SCX-10-2 came out, or it was going to come out. I met you guys at like your test spot that was close to the office.
And was that Regency?
I don't know. It was a drainage ditch.
Oh yeah, 2nd Street.
Yeah.
Or I think it was 2nd Street.
Yeah. And it's like, this is what's close. Like, it was a concreted drainage ditch with a bunch of
crawled
rocks
up a drainage ditch, so it's good enough for you.
Yeah.
I actually have a storm drainage ditch next to my house. I've posted pictures about it. There's no cement in it. It's just a bunch of rock down in there, and it's literally. I live on the corner, and it's literally right at the corner of my house. So I have a huge rock bed. It's, I don't know, 25 by 80 or something. That's just all rocks. So I have that plus whatever I'll build in the house.
And that's where the Rift got tested, guys.
Right.
And not so much.
Thank you, Andrew.
I just
Rain.
moved. Yeah, I just moved here 2 weeks ago. So,
that's, oh man, the ability to have terrain nearby is just, I mean, coming from the Midwest where that's just not like, it's not 2 hours away at all. It's like you're lucky to find those drainage ditches for one.
Right.
Yeah.
We had a lot of years where we had a lot of comps in drainage areas.
Right. Yeah.
But
yeah, we had those down in SoCal as well, man. And that was one of the it's okay for me to move was because of the location I was going to, per se. You
Right.
know? They were like, well,
Yeah.
you're going to a better place for R&D.
Right.
By all
Yeah,
means.
that's a very good
Yeah.
point.
Perry G was saying here. So was Randall part of the Great Pirate Migration? And I pretty much, you're right there with the rest of the former. You know, I mean, a lot of them are in St. George, but you're minutes away.
Yeah, actually, I'm about 15 minutes on the freeway, on the Interstate 15 from St. George, so really close.
Yeah,
But yeah, I am definitely on the get out of Cali crowd.
right. And if
Over-
I'm not mistaken, there's a diverging diamond on I-15 at St. George. So it's one of those interchanges that
Oh,
goes there.
God, please don't
Pretty
bore
sure.
us all with that talk.
He already bored me with the whole Milwaukee thing.
Yeah,
What the F?
dude, agreed.
Come on.
Listen,
I'm losing subs
God.
at a rapid pace
you're
here.
killing me.
So,
What he's actually
ooh.
doing is fitting the stereotype of all gladiator owners.
Yes, exactly. Oh, so
But I did see them wheel just this past weekend out at San Hollow, and they are fantastic wheelers. The vehicles work really, really good. So gladiators are awesome.
provided you don't have to
It's it.
turn. If it's just a straight trail,
Yeah,
a little bit up and down, good. Turn,
yeah.
bad.
And you got to worry about your departure range.
Yes, big time.
Right.
Big time.
Approaching.
Like when I was out off-roading, oh my God, almost 2 years ago, when I was out there, there was a guy who was leading a group of JKs, but he was in a TJ. And he gets out and he kind of, he's like, it's pretty tight through there, but, it's no problem for me because I'm cheating in my TJ.
Oh yeah, I used to have a TJ. I get it.
Yeah, they were awesome. Short little wheelbase.
Very nimble.
Trucks.
Yeah.
Unlike Josh's
Jeeps.
Gladiator.
They're not trucks. They're Jeeps.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Randall. I have one. I should know better. What Josh has is a Jeep truck.
Yeah.
Jeep truck.
Jeep truck.
Still a
truck.
Jeep.
Yes, it is still a Jeep.
I'm just jealous. Those are pretty rad. They're just
I'm
definitely
not.
out of my price.
I'm not because my wife won't let me have one anyway.
Won't fit in my drive.
Yeah, she
too
she
long.
told me that
Does
again.
it fit in a garage?
Not in
Mine
Josh's.
will fit in my
Really?
garage. But yeah,
Okay.
no, I've put it in there. However,
You didn't close the door.
no. I've got enough room on either side to comfortably fit. But I find that it's more appropriate to have my fab table and my tools and my router stuff set up how I like, rather than
Vidjo here had a
Yeah,
good
wouldn't-
question about all the gladiators you saw, Randall. Were they also on 20s like Josh is planning?
The only ones that were on 20s were actually on 42s as well. So
Yes. All right.
yeah, kind of,
Yeah. Josh is
20s.
Handlers
30s.
he's going to
22s
ruin his
off-road
he's
truck.
going to ruin his Jeep so epically.
Absolutely.
What
Absolutely.
size are your tires, Josh?
34 stock.
On 20s?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's like rubber bands.
I know, it's so hideous. I don't know what he's thinking. Oh, actually I do. I'm thinking he's
That's
thinking he's
amazing.
never going to go off-road.
Right.
It's gonna look great.
He got the
Thank
the
you.
Overland one though, so or is that what it is?
Of course.
The Sahara?
Yeah, might as well be. Yeah.
The
It's
Sahara version.
very comfortable.
It's got
It's not the Dubai version because that would have like 1,000 horsepower.
Right.
he's got the select track. You just turn this dial. You
Yeah.
just turn this dial and then
Yes.
I'm off-roading.
Oh gosh, that's
right
great.
here. Oh my god.
That's great. Well, yes,
But-
I was watching your show, guys, and I will say, the elevation that I'm at is 3250. So I'm in high desert elevation because
Wow.
you guys were asking all those questions,
Yeah.
and it's 325 degrees here.
Whoa.
Wait, that can't be right.
That can't be right.
You're bad at math, I think.
It could be. I use Google.
325 minus 273. 52 degrees Fahrenheit. Isn't that super hot, Matt?
32
Let's see.
32 Celsius?
52.
52.
It was
52
52.
Celsius.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really
It's
hot.
still current. No, 52
Fahrenheit.
Fahrenheit. Yeah.
Oh.
Very- I was gonna
Okay.
say, I was like, that's very
Jeez. give me a heart attack.
But it's been getting cold, man.
That's crazy.
It's been in the mornings. It's been like 30 degrees out here.
Yeah, same here. It's a little chilly, but it's okay. Not as bad as it was in Missouri when I talked to some friends this morning. I was like, oh yeah, it's like I can see my breath.
Yeah,
they didn't find that. It was funny. But, or Matt, I'm sure. I think Matt can see his breath in his basement.
I can. I most definitely can.
What do you know?
This is awkward, but I just got pulled into a work thing that I have to go do.
Oh.
So
my.
I'm going to leave this running, though. And you guys can just keep talking. I'm sorry. My real job has to take precedence. I got to take care of this. I'm hoping it's not going to be too long. So
cool. We will watch your sign language.
Good luck, everybody.
Yeah.
And RC Dave charged up. Thanks for the $5. What you guys don't know is Josh is secretly obsessed with Ford effing Rangers now.
Kind of am, as people
Randall,
have been
I'm
watching.
disappointed I have to leave, but like I said, I'm just going to keep this
Hopefully you'll be
running.
back
You guys
shortly.
can just talk it out, and I'll be back as soon as I can. Thanks, guys. Sorry.
Done.
Well, hopefully we'll see him back in.
Don't say anything
agreed.
mean about me.
Right.
Always too late.
So, regardless, we'll get this fixed up for a second. Matt always has to leave during guests. It happens every time. But anyway, the Rift. Right? So when did you pick up this project at the?
I gotta sidetrack you for a second. Look at this little guy. This is Gemma, little girl.
Did she make the move with you, or is this
Yes.
a new addition? Okay.
Yeah. We have two cats. The wife has two cats. That's Gemma and Jack.
Evidently, I lost audio from you for a second. I'm fixing it now, though.
All right.
Or
Maybe.
I believe so.
Maybe I did something.
No, I think I got it. So
Okay.
I apologize for.
That's all right.
Anybody
And this is
who-
Jack. He's all pissed. So, all right, I'll let you go. So, we have two cats. And Josh, guess what the wife just ordered last week?
Did she order a Cheeto?
No.
Did she order the wheel?
Yes.
Yes.
Does it work?
Kimmy rules. Absolutely. Our cat is on it all of the time.
Really?
So,
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
She's, now she was pretty small when we got her, or when we got it and got everything.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, these are like 5-month-old cats or something.
yeah, then you'll probably be good still.
Cool.
So, but yeah, she took right to it, and now she just does it when she wants attention. So she'll run over to it and then run and like look at you and like
Rad.
pet her and so.
Yeah, so we got the house, we got some space for a wheel, and she decided to get a little hog wile and order the cat wheels. So I was like, I'm gonna have to ask Josh because I know he has one.
And again, product testing. You can put the
Right?
car on.
That's what I told her. I could just rip one of the RC cars across it.
I've done it. So
I bet.
there you-
Yeah, I used to do it on a treadmill when we first came out with the AX10 or the SCX10. Had a treadmill at the house before, and I actually put it on the treadmill just to get a good how fast would it go before it fell off the back of the treadmill, and that's how I figured
right.
out it would do 12 miles an hour, or whatever, 6.
depending on the incline, right?
Yeah.
Yes, we are discussing a cat wheel. It's like a hamster wheel, except it's about this tall.
Yes.
So, it comes in like 18 sections, and they all go together. And it's got rollerblade wheels that it rolls on in 4 corners, so it's supported.
Sure. We talked about, you guys were talking about earlier, putting things together and how fun that is most of the time. I did, speaking of rollerblade wheels, I did get sucked into the Amazon office chair rollerblade wheel edition.
Oh,
If you haven't done that?
The update. I need to do that. Is it worth it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. These things are amazing.
That's a good one. I've seen that, and I've contemplated it as well.
I could literally high-speed roll to the kitchen right now without a problem.
You know what? Just for that, I'm going to add them to my cart.
Great.
Um,
So you were
the
saying,
Rift.
sorry. Yes, Rift.
At what stage of the concept or process did you enter the project?
Early on. Very early
Okay.
on.
So idea phase still.
Yeah.
No.
Yep.
And was it at the beginning of design, or was it in like
No, I was
or
in
before design or
brainstorm
in design?
before.
Oh, so yeah, basically at the inception.
Yeah.
It had been greenlit, but in the early stages. So that's it's obviously it's by some newer designers to Axial.
Correct.
So was this the designer's first Axial project?
Yeah. So there wasn't just one designer in this project.
Gotcha.
There was a couple of guys, a couple of different team members involved in the design of this project. So we had a guy that was doing the powertrain stuff based on the specs that we gave him, and then once all that was done, we had another guy that was doing the cage work to kind of finish it off, and then we had another guy doing some of the stylizing on it.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, kind of playing off the different areas there.
Trying
I
to
mean,
finish it up.
you can tell that there's influences from previous Axial product. You know, the trailing arms and the skid plate. Some of the other little details that we kind of covered during it, and then there's a lot of things that are departures and cool. We've got cast diff covers, cast motor plate.
Yep.
And those are. I'm trying to think. Like, have there been many other cast parts on Axials before? I know there's been sintered, like gears.
Yeah, centered. I don't know that it's definitely the cast diff covers that we've done. We've never done that before. And then the motor plate.
I mean, I've seen it on other Horizon products, but I don't know that I've ever seen it on any Axial product.
No, I was trying to think back if the Yeti XL had it, but I don't think it had it either.
Yeah, not
It
that
was
I can
plastic.
remember.
Yeah.
That's been a while for me since I built a Yeti XL, but yeah, I mean, that big transmission, that big motor plate in this transmission. I did a live video last Friday where I kind of tore the whole thing down because I hadn't been inside of the transmission yet.
Right.
And so seeing that transmission, how it went together, how some of the screws that thread into the metal motor plate, that's nice to see. It's not just all into plastic, where cases can wear out and things like that.
Right.
Now, also it's built for 2-speed capable.
Correct.
And you guys obviously had to make a decision because lately you've done digs and 2 speeds in SCX-10 or SCX-10 and Capras. So you obviously had to make a decision whether or not to use it in the box.
Yeah, part of that is just simply because when you're in an RTR mass production type scenario, it's very time consuming and difficult to get the factory to optimize the endpoints for a 2-speed. It's never an exact science. And if anybody's been in the RC world, they know even in their own rigs, they're still going to periodically have to go back and readjust after wear and tear on the system. They're going to have to go back and readjust the endpoints. So it's not an exact science, and
micro servos.
Micro servers, yeah. And that's it is using the SX 107.
Right.
That's what it's designed for. But it just made it. Obviously, there's an expense involved there too. There's a few more, some components involved that are going to raise the price of the RTR. And so we felt basically when we made the design of the bouncer, we really wanted to design everything into it in a full-blown vehicle, and then start taking things out so we could make it a cost-effective RTR.
Now, you and I have talked, obviously, outside of this. The 2-speed option is actually a low gear that it adds.
Correct.
So the gear that it comes with factory is the fast gear, the high speed.
Correct.
And then you get to add that optional low gear to give it some more low speed control.
And part of that was why I like the 2-speed in the Rift is simply if you're running a 4S power system, I think having the 2-speed and running the 2-speed in low gear on 4S is going to give you all the punch that you're actually going to need. And then if you really needed to send it up some crazy slope and you needed the wheel speed, you can shift it into the high gear and run it up the hill. But if I don't think you've done 4S yet, but I know some of the other guys have. I think RC Sparks has been all over 4S the whole time. And it's, in my opinion, it's like a Tesla ludicrous mode. It's just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. Where I was at, I mean, 4S would have been, you know, I don't know, like I would launch up a hill, and when I would run up one of those hills, it would end up several feet over top of my head, and before it would end up coming down, you know, because it would kind of come up a hill and kind of come off of it. So I'd end up 8 or 10 feet in the air. It's just, and I was on 3S, so it's crazy amount of power. I do love the brushless system factory, and it's the Spectrum system. It's a sensorless, but it feels great in this car.
In some of my testing, I was able to launch it up, I don't know, 20 feet straight up in the air. I found some really cool vert launch jumps and launched it straight up in the air and just brought it back down on a pancake landing and took off from there. You know, I mean, it's durability testing, you know, in the worst form. That's the bummer.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, everyone has asked this. You answered however you want. The possibility of a Rift kit.
Well, I mean, it's really not a possibility. There's been leaked information out there. I've seen manual pictures, and I've seen some other things. It's not announced. I'll leave it at that. Right. It's too early to say that it is coming, but it's all leaked out there. So,
right.
Unfortunately, don't go to the local hobby store and say I want a Rift kit, because it's not available.
Right. Yeah. Some technical glitches happen. Sometimes they seem to happen a lot with Tower, but
I don't even know if it was Tower. I think there was some UK guys that found it somewhere. I don't know where it was found.
Was on Tower.
Yeah. Not much you can do about it. Like,
I know.
With systems automated and the way technology works, it just kind of gets away from you sometimes.
Gotcha. People are asking, Rift innards will go into a bomber. No, it's completely different. The skid plate's not even the same size. None of the gears are the same size. It's totally different.
The trailing arms look similar, but as you pointed out several times, it's 10 millimeters longer. There's actually some different cross bracing that we added to it to try to make it stronger. The pivot balls are all bigger. The rod ends, everything's completely different on the rig. There's nothing except for the helmets.
Literally the helmets. That's
they are the same
mold, the same design, different new mold, since this is made in a new place.
Yep.
I mean, if you're wondering if anything fits another car, no. Nothing's. The shocks are different lengths. Maybe one of these is the same length as a Yeti shock. What's a Yeti rear shock? 5-inch?
Ooh, I don't remember. Good question, dude.
I think a Yeti shock
measure.
It's either 4.5 or 5 inches. I can't remember.
It might be the secondary. Is that what you're talking about? The secondary Yeti shock, or just the standard?
No, the standard rear Yeti shock. It's somewhere around that 4.5.
Yeah, but those are smaller too, I think.
Yeah. So like maybe an upgraded rear Yeti shock would work in the front, but that's about it. Like,
yeah.
There's almost nothing compatible on this truck other than the helmets.
Yeah, the ring gear, like you pointed out, the ring gears are similar, but they're not actually the same.
Yeah, they're. Well, I mean, the ring. I don't even think they're that similar. Everything seems to be considerably different. The pinion gears are 6 millimeter outputs. They don't use the same size bearings. They have a 10 by 15 by 4 inner bearing, and then that 6 by 12 outer. But you know, nothing is compatible. Now, one thing that I had mentioned in the video was that this uses a 6-channel receiver, and after the fact, I learned that 6-channel receiver is actually for the AVC capability, right?
Correct.
Now, is the 6-channel the only one that has AVC, or I thought other ones had AVC? Because the Bomber has AVC, didn't it? Or did it not?
No.
It didn't?
No, okay. The Bomber uses the 315.
Gotcha. See, since I'm technically a Futaba person, wow. Right?
I thought that was chest hair.
Yeah. A little slow, like. You know, I guess I don't always, but yes, that 6-channel receiver is for the AVC. Now, out of the box, this thing's tuned to like what, 30% AVC, or is it a little less?
Maybe less. I would say it's probably like 10%.
You said that if you go above 30,
you'll get death wobble.
Right.
Yeah. If you're a Jeep owner, if you've ever seen Jeep owner death wobble, if you crank the AVC up on the Rift, you're going to get effectively death wobble because of the horsepower in the vehicle and because of the torque twist and because of the wheel speed. The car's going to shift, and then it's literally going to try to correct itself, and it'll get lost.
Yeah, solid axle vehicles don't always 100% like to work like a nice independent type rig.
What are you guys talking about? What are you talking about? Talking about fun stuff?
Death wobble.
Does that happen in a real truck? I mean, does it happen in the Rift? What is that? What is that?
That's the sway bar. We do have
there you go.
That's the optional sway bar for the Rift.
Cool.
We do have those. So those are coming, and where is it? Am I making enough noise off camera? This is the 2-speed.
Oh, sweet.
Nice.
So those parts are a thing. That's great.
Yeah.
Yes,
like the 2-speed for the SCX-10-2.
That was a thing, wasn't
eventually.
Didn't it come out?
It came out.
I have it.
Yeah, it came out eventually.
I mean, I have it. I don't know about you.
He's got the prototype.
Shit, I had it. I think I had it at AxioFest 2019.
Right. Now, cutting brakes for an XR10.
Yeah, where's the cutting brake? That's a good question.
2018, was it? I've had the 2-speed.
Came out 2016.
Yeah, I've had that 2-speed in there. Maybe it was 2-speed in there for a long time.
Man.
In one of my 10-2s.
That was an advertising emergency there, folks. They are a real thing, and they could be life or death.
Well, you handled it beautifully and quickly.
Yeah, sorry about that, everybody. Super annoying. This is me time.
Right.
Yeah, right?
But
we're never actually off the clock.
When you're dealing with them people in New York City.
Yeah. We had a busy day at the office as well. We had a new machine delivered. So that was, I mean, I did a lot of standing and pointing, but I'll act like it was a crazy day.
It was a singer
I had a
new
machine delivered today too.
What'd you get?
Was it a washing machine?
It was a water softener.
Oh,
whoa! You like your water soft there, huh? I like a good hard water.
Yeah, apparently, Hurricane has the most calcified water around, and it's pretty much if you don't have a water softener, your faucets and everything is going to go to poo really quickly. Oh,
right, yeah.
I've been in those situations growing up in rural areas. That's a thing. You know, your coffee pots last 6 months.
Right. Yeah. It was, we moved in and the wife wanted to replace all the faucets. And in just that 1 year that we had the house and the tenant was in here, just in that 1 year, you could see buildup on all of the faucets. So it was going quick. So
yeah,
I got sucked into you need this water softener. Okay. We changed our phrase. You know, everybody talks about send it, right? You got to send it up the hill and send it here and there and whatever. We changed the phrase. So the new phrase is spend it. Just spend it.
That is highly accurate.
Absolutely.
Yes, I can.
How much is
very
a water
much
softener? Oh, X. Oh, spend it.
Yeah. Just spend it.
Yeah. Can't take it with you, right?
Man, oh man.
Yeah.
I have a question here from Blue Dooley, 4x4. He wonders what Randall's thoughts were on RC Medic, or what his fixes were on the shocks for instead of a sway bar.
RC Medic or RC Sparks?
Yeah, his name is he's got two names, but yes, RC Sparks.
I don't like the way that I saw the vehicle perform. I did watch the video. I think it's really cool that he flipped the shocks over and he did a dual shock setup, and I'm all about everybody trying things. But it almost resembled when I first got the Rift, the T1 sample that I drove. You do want soft tires, but you also want active shocks. And
yes.
in my opinion, from what I saw in those videos, to me, it didn't look like the shocks were activating all that much. So in my opinion, I didn't see it. And literally that's why I took the sway bar off the RTR, was because I did not see the suspension work the way that I wanted it to. So I took it off. Does that mean I added torque twist or let torque twist fly? Yes, there is torque twist there because there's no sway bar. But if you're going through a bed of rocks, 3 open diffs. If you're going through a bed of rocks, like a rock garden or whatever, and you're just wide open throttle, you want that suspension to dance.
Yep.
That's
absolutely. I agree.
I was fully expecting a very torque twist happy. I think I even thought when I recorded the video, just with how much power this thing was going to have, how long the shocks were and everything. But driving it, I mean, it definitely has it. It's there.
Right.
But when it does that, and then, you got a front right that's up in the air, it'll unload a bit and it doesn't continue to do that torque twist motion as much. And there's so much power anyway that it keeps going.
It does.
Yeah. And most of that is because of the open diffs. You're gonna get basically that diff out sensation to where it's gonna kind of unload, and then it's gonna grip and hook up again. So but additionally to that, what I like that RC Sparks did was he's just showing the creativity and how well you can easily modify it. I can imagine people are going to modify the heck out of this thing, and everybody's going to have a different spin on it. And I think it's great.
Do you think it has?
Promotes the hobby.
Do you think it has the potential of having that same sort of modifying enthusiast that the Wraith 2.2 did?
I think so. I really like the design. I think it is a longer wheelbase, so that doesn't really lend itself to like a 1.9 size tire. It definitely needs a big tire, right? It's a big car.
Yeah.
But I think if somebody took the Rift and eliminated the powertrain that's in it, right, the RTR, if they eliminated the powertrain in it and they put in a brush system or put in a Tekin 415 or something a little bit more crawler-ish, and then they got the locker option, you might actually be able to make a crawler, so to speak, out of it, or like a trail buggy out of it. It's hard to say, right? If you fully lock it, but if you fully lock it and kind of make it a crawler, but you keep the giant horsepower in it, things are going to snap.
Yeah, that's not the truck that I think it was intended to be in that sort of format. But if you lower the power, if you lower the power and did some like, I think that's the thing, is that I think there's enough in that platform that there is enough potential for people to do some pretty interesting things with it.
Totally agree.
Yeah, and the whole drivetrain drops out of this thing enough that it's going to be one of those ones that now custom builders are pretty small percentage overall,
small
of
market,
the mass market, especially when you're talking something as far as like new chassis or whatever. But for those people, the people who are like hardcore into rock bouncing, like, it's going to be perfect because the whole thing drops out and everything stays together, and then you can just bolt a new chassis on the top that shocks mount to it.
So here was one of those things to play into your everything falls out of it. So in the original design, which I didn't grab the body, so here's the power switch, right? This is the actual second location for the power switch, and I'll show you.
Thanks, Mr. HS, for the $10, by the way. Thank you.
Here's, if you can see it, there's the original location of the power switch right there on the top of the cage.
Well, so, it's inside of the compartment.
Inside, right behind the guys. So it was originally there, and it was very convenient to turn it on and off. But in the early stages of development, what I found was that one dumb little screw became a pain in the neck to have to take off when you wanted to drop the powertrain out, and you had to feed the power switch down through the Lexan and all that. It became a pain in the neck, and I'm like, that's very inconvenient. So I wound up redesigning the spur gear cover and putting a mounting location for the power switch on the spur gear cover.
Yeah, and that was great because that's just that one thing that
was annoying.
Helps keep it all attached to one, one place.
Yeah.
Also, thanks Pleco Nation and RC Dave charged up. He said the RTR. That means there's a kit.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, there's been a lot of speculation on that because a lot of people are doing the parts number searches and finding all kinds of interesting things. But of course, we're not going to comment on that because that's not our place.
Maybe we already did while you were on your sabbatical.
I mean, if you look at the parts manual of the RTR, there's a whole bunch of cage parts listed.
Like the gray ones.
There's just a whole bunch of cage parts listed.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, is that a drink thing? You guys?
It is now.
Everybody was drinking at the same time. Yeah,
exactly. So agreed.
There's all kinds of possibilities out there. There could be another RTR.
I scoured the back of that parts manual right away. I'm like, okay, optional diff locker,
optional
slave
at the back. If you want to put weight in the back, if you think it's bouncing too much, you can. If you like a weighted vehicle, you have that option. So we tried to build in some versatility based on, I'll just say the years of experience that I've had at Axial and how we like to do things and how the fans like to do things. We really wanted to try to build in scalability, capability, and creativity.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be a solid platform for that, especially as more and more aftermarket options come out, and it'll be a popular truck. So I think that'll definitely happen. Jeremy Burris, thank you for the donation. He says, "Is there really a million weight oil in the diffs? What is the stock rating on the diffs?"
Million.
So
that's inside the differential, the spider gears.
Now I did open them up. They just feel awfully light for being million.
I will agree with you there. It seems a little bit light. I'm not sure if that's a breakdown issue. I maybe compare it fresh out of the box versus some hours of runtime. The one thing I've noticed about all silicone grease is it does break down.
Oh yeah.
Over time, and so there's not a whole lot of viscosity in it, so you're going to have to redo it. But I would do million weight. And the reason we did that is to try to create what's known as like a limited slip differential, with thick oil in there. And I've seen or heard, I've never done it, but I've seen or heard somebody talking about putting silicone earplugs in the diffs.
Yep. There's some old earplugs.
Silly putty is a big one too.
All right.
It's basically just people shoving stuff in holes that they have around the house. It's a fun game people like to play.
Josh is an expert at shoving things into holes.
Yeah,
I don't know. Does he have any kids yet?
Oh yeah, actually, he's not very good at it, I guess. All right. Anyway, never mind. That's a conversation for another channel.
Exactly.
So it's million weight. I would just suggest, if somebody's doing a rebuild or a teardown on it, crack it open. Josh, did you crack yours open?
Yep, I did.
Was it topped off?
It was honestly, it was pretty full.
Okay.
So now when I noticed it was light first, it was when I was on the bench before I'd driven it. So I don't know if it was a breakdown thing or. I mean, honestly, you have a lot of leverage with these big tires that might just feel a little bit more open than it is. I didn't necessarily, like I can feel here on the bench. I feel like this feels pretty light.
Sure.
But that was, like I said in the video at that same time. But after driving it, it wasn't something that I was like, you know what, this is unloading too much for me. So it's not something that I was going to rush to clean out to refill with something heavier, so it's not much of a concern there.
It's bad enough to deal with million weight gear oil.
Oh God, you're
squeezing
it out and then the cap comes off and then it's all over the table.
Oh man, popsicle stick.
Or how it all just you squeeze it out and you and then you let go and it all goes back in.
There's a lot of questions coming in here.
One of the first things I had to there's a
lot of questions coming in here, and I'm just gonna tell everybody right now, asking about future products, not going to happen. Randall's not going to give us any info on anything new. We can speculate as much as we want.
What are you talking about? I'll give you all kinds of answers.
Well, Rich
Right.
isn't watching, so I'm sure we can get away
We have a
with it.
4-wheel drive hydro boat.
Oh, great. That plays into Josh and I next monthly mayhem. That'll work out perfectly.
Exactly. You're stealing
We
our...
have a no prep track drag car. It's got 4 tracks on it. It's 4-wheel drive.
It's not going to win, but it's going to look awful doing it.
Yeah.
No, so like AR44 straight axles on an SCX 10.3 kit, that would be awesome. I would love to see that. I'd also love to see an RTR of that. I don't think Randall's going to tell us what's coming out. He's rolling his eyes around a lot, but...
No, I was trying to think. I had to replay what you said. An AR44 straight axle.
Well,
kit.
like,
okay, so
you know, your new
we
straight
do have a
axle conversion kit, but on an actual RTR or kit included, so you don't have to buy the kit.
I mean, duh. That would eventually come out at some point, right?
Right.
I mean,
So,
some point.
At some point.
Sure.
Yeah. He doesn't
Should it
know
have
everything.
Should it have chrome diff covers?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm saying yes. I chose that.
No, I said it first. But black chrome.
Oh, no.
Midnight.
Veto.
Midnight chrome.
You know, now I seen a question pop up here. I apologize for whoever said it, but now the Rift and the Bomber, not the same car. They don't necessarily. They do draw a lot of parallels to each other, but they're far from.
Yeah, they're so
this
different.
thing. Now, I will say that comparing a RTR Rift to an RTR Bomber,
I think you get better value in the Rift.
I think so too, but what's the retail cost on the Bomber? It's over $400 if I'm not mistaken. 420.
I think that's 430. Yeah, 420, 430, something like that. And this is 499. I think. I'm not good at numbers.
The brushless system alone.
That's got to be at least.
That's
a good chunk of change.
They're both RTR electronics. I get it. Not everyone's going to be happy with that. I'm pretty happy with the RTR electronics that were in this.
Well, this Spectrum
and
Smart
per-
stuff is gone way up in quality and capability.
The bomb 449 for the bomber.
Okay.
Thank you guys for checking that. I'll say there is a lot of value in this truck. There's differences between them. This is made in a new place for Axial.
Yep.
So this is the first Axial made in a new facility.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the good things that's really kind of come out of the acquisition from, Axial with and all that stuff is that we have a lot more resources and we have a lot more tools at our hands to where we can make a better product, right? And it helps with, shouldn't say it, but it helps with getting product to market sooner because we have different resources that we can use to really help facilitate that.
Yeah, I could see that. Just how many of you guys you have hammering on projects now. I mean, I knew most of the guys at Axial. That it was a pretty small team when you guys
was
were
a small
owned
team
by Hobbyco. Like you had the resources you had, which was a very nice office, but it wasn't a big office.
and it was pretty incredible the
right.
amount of stuff that came out of that office too for the number of people working on it. Yeah.
Now, one of the questions here, I've seen it a bunch too. Will there be a Rift SMT version? Basically, I'm guessing someone means like these axles on an SMT, which I don't think makes any sense with the release of the LMT.
Yeah, I don't know that would ever happen, but I mean, things that are always on the table are if the axle, the AR14B proves itself, there is potential for let's make an AR14B solid axle kit or something like that. Like we might come out with that. Axial's always done that, so I think that
Bomber 3.0
that kind of goes without saying. It's just a matter of looking at it, going, yes, we can justify doing that.
Bomber.
Now
Bomber
I will say
3.0
that
would be a great.
Dropping these axles onto an AR60 based vehicle will not be an easy thing.
It's going to be fat.
The link mounting positions are much wider on this vehicle. It would be kind of like the equivalent of trying to put AR60s onto an SCX
right
platform.
Right.
It's not impossible, and we've seen
it's done all the time.
and numerous times, but it's not just a throw it like you have clearance issues, you have all kinds of things. So
yeah.
But yeah, so
correction, Matt. You said AR-44.
Yeah, I meant
AR-45.
AR-45. Yeah, sorry, my apologies.
And if you don't know, there is an actual AR-45 or a Dana 45.
Yes.
You could actually look it up. There is such a thing.
Yep.
a slightly beefed up 44. I did find this as well.
Yep.
A question on the AR-45 straight axle kit. Who was the one who okayed them being upside down in the box?
That's got to be an error. They're going to correct it. Oh, Randall.
Where's the running change on this?
So they were right side up in the box at first, and it was a little bit of a packaging issue, and we needed to flip them around. The original idea was it was actually going to be in a crate-looking box. It was going to be in a plywood-looking crate box, so it looked like you got, like if you were to order a Dana 44 crate axle, it would look exactly like that. So that was the original packaging idea, but as it evolved, we changed things. We added shocks, and we made it a conversion kit, and we did this different, that different, and it wound up having to be in the box the way that they are. I noticed it, and I looked at it, and I had to be the guy to say, we'll let it fly.
All right.
I'm not proud of it.
Thank you, Randall.
Uh-huh.
Blunt honesty. Sorry.
I like, though, that you still get to peel off the outside cardboard to reveal it underneath. I think that was a
Do you
nice
remember
design
the
choice.
ARTR?
Yes.
That was from that.
That's I do remember that.
The AR. What was that? The
AX10 almost ready
XC,
to run.
Almost ready to run. The orange one. It had the box that you could. It was perforated, and you could peel open the window. Yep.
Now, didn't the first AX10 RTR also have something like that with the buzzard body?
It did. It had the peel out. You're right. It had the peel out, but we didn't design the box so it could be covered or not covered. It was designed to rip that thing off. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So yeah, I do remember that first AX10 RTR with that great big buzzard body on it, and that vehicle also came with the open diffs.
That's right.
It did.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yep.
It came with the lockers in the box.
Yep.
And that was the first time that the Iron Cross locker was released.
Yes.
Because prior to that, it was the green aluminum axial locker.
Yeah.
I wonder if anybody remembers those.
And the green one, the problem with it was it would oval out.
Yeah.
It was too soft.
In a hurry if you had yourself a good 35 turn brush motor, like, because that was about all we were running back then. 35, 55.
I still run them.
I've got my lathe. I'm all ready to clean the brushes.
Yeah.
So, now that the LMT is out, we can pretty much say that the SMT is done, right?
I don't know. I don't. Those aren't my projects, so I can't really.
I will
sales numbers will dictate that. Yeah.
Of course.
The LMT
okay.
is pretty awesome, right?
Yeah.
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 You know, an LMT roller is $399, which
pretty awesome.
And SMT RTR got to be around
that price.
I know that they're not the same. One's RTR, one's ARTR. You know, whatever they call it. But it's like you're in that same range. Like it's going to be some decision making that's going to happen in there. But either way, obviously the LMT much more updated, another beefy version of a truck. Obviously, we've seen people have breakage problems with these cars, but
that was one of the questions that came up here.
An SMT, not exactly what I would call bulletproof either. So.
No.
Is anything bulletproof when you put big horsepower on it, though?
I know.
No, and that's the thing. I think that's one thing we can probably all just sort of agree to is that when you put a lot of power into these things, inevitably something is going to break, and it's just the nature of the beast.
I mean, do the math on the scale horsepower of the Rift. I can't even imagine, but it's ridiculous.
If you put this thing at $450 and you put the bomber electronics in it, you'd never break apart.
Right. Yeah. The stock stuff.
That a lot of that comes
wasn't
down to
really
driving,
fast.
though, Josh.
Hey.
No, it doesn't. Well, not in the case of the stock bomber electronics, that's for sure. I remember taking that to my favorite spot to run it, the RTR out of the box, and I was like, all right, let's do this. And it was just like, it's like,
you go, yes.
All right. I'm not doing a video.
The smart electronics, I'll say also, I'm sure everybody knows, but it is programmable. One of the things that we bumped up in this electronic set in the ESC was the punch power, and I think we bumped it up to a 6 in the configuration, and you can get the programmer and you can bump it up even further to where you'll actually get even more horsepower out of it. And it's the punch power is really in the Rift is really what you want. Standing alone currently with the car up against the curb, you can actually pull off a backflip just punching it right up against the curb, and it'll pull a backflip. But if you bump the punch control up even further, it's just going to get that much more stupid. You know, it's going to get really ridiculous. So I think there's still a lot of room for anybody that thinks there's not enough power. I think you can still bump it up enough, just even with the stock electronics, to where you're going to have a heyday of a good time.
Right.
That's great.
Thomas asks, will the bomber go brushless? And I don't think that's probably, if I was to guess. I know you can't say these things, but
if we did a bomber, I don't know, a 3.0. I mean, we did the bomber that wasn't supposed to be a 2.0, but
yeah,
if there's a bomber 3.0, it's been a staple of a chassis, right? Like
absolutely,
it's been really, really good for the axial line. So
right,
it's got a lot of support on it. It's possible. We're always tossing that around. Can we do a brushless system? It really boils down.
I would have to think that it would be almost a new car, though. I can't see that it being because if it's going to be an AR60 base, like it's going to have universals out of the box, because the
right.
dog bones are going to have, it's going
right.
to, you can twist the wild boars, but they're still a pretty decent shaft.
Yeah.
So like maybe they would, but there's just like so many things. It's just like
maybe we do like a bomber with some WB11s on it.
Right. And it's like if that whole thing, if you had this version but it's basically a new car.
Right.
Yeah, so, you'd call it the Bomber
great.
3.0, but it'd be a whole new vehicle, and that's what a 3.0 is. It's not like it would be like a 2.1. It would be a whole new thing.
Exactly. The bummer there is you don't have any backwards compatibility, right? So then you just kind of wiped out the whole line. So and then there's always that juggle.
It's one of those things, like it's an interesting an interesting point of conversation that's been had a number of times. Like, say you want to do that, for the sake of argument, you want to do basically a Bomber 3.0. That's going to be a new car, but at the same time, it's like, okay, do you choose the Bomber cage? Because while a lot of people think Bomber fabrication is one manufacturer of chassis in the Ultra 4 world, which there are many. So it's if you're going to do a new one, like, would you maybe just choose to do a new vehicle so that you got a new style? Because otherwise it's like, oh, that's a Bomber, like the old one. Like, well, no, it's a whole new car. It's like, at the same time, you basically say, let's just make a new car.
So obviously, I mean, you guys both know every time we do a cage, everybody says it looks
like a Bomber.
Yeah. And they're not. I mean, the Captain's not a Bomber at all, and the Rift,
it used to be a Wraith,
Yeah.
And now it's like,
you can't. Whatever. You've shown it enough times. That's not a Bomber. I know Randy, and I know the Bomber line. His product and his chassis, and they're not at all alike.
Yeah, and it's some of us who are, I pay a lot of attention to the Ultra 4 world and chassis builders as well. And chassis builders have their own styles. The Bomber has a very distinct style with the hood bars and the rear section. Like everyone's just like, oh, it looks like that. I'm like, no, it doesn't. It's nothing like that. Like, you couldn't be more wrong.
Right.
Wish I could say that more often. But
I'm gonna answer a comment I saw roll by if you guys don't mind.
Oh, go for it.
It's from Zigzag Rambo. I don't know who that is. It says, I had no idea Randall worked at Axial. I just thought he ran an off-road expedition thing and was friend spotter with Cody Wagner. Cool.
Nice. That's cool.
Not really a question, but yeah, I've known Cody for a long time. I actually introduced Axial and Cody. He's been a really good friend of mine for several years now. I think maybe 10 years. I think. Yeah, it might be 10 years now. So yeah, I'm a spotter. I'm actually supposed to be driving Pretty Penny this next season in the We Rock competition.
Ooh,
really?
fun.
Cody wants out of this. Is he going to spot, or is he just going to be team owner now?
He's just going to
really
sit.
NASCAR guy.
He's just going to sit back in the chair, and smoke a cigar.
He's just like it.
You're doing great,
Cameron,
Randall.
Is he going to have Cameron run the Armada car in KOHkin?
Yes.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cameron's a fast driver.
And he absolutely was. Yeah, he was leading the race at the end.
Oh, I
last
know.
year.
That was so awesome to watch.
That car had the chance to win KOH last year. It was
so close.
The end of King of the Hammers last year, which for those of you who don't know, King of the Hammers is coming up the end of next week.
2 weeks, yeah, something like that.
Not too far away.
It kicks off. The gates officially open on the 22nd, which is this coming weekend, but it doesn't start until the following weekend, 28th or something.
Gotcha. Yeah. So it's that car, the laser nut car that you guys know now in the RC world, was leading at the end. I mean, Bailey Campbell was leading and just doing super well. She had a pulley failure on an LS engine.
I was so disappointed
what happened
by that
on
car.
Cody's car? The steering?
Yes, the rack and pinion. Some of the brackets that were billet aluminum or something, the brackets on the end of the rack and pinion, one of them failed, and so they wound up losing their steering. So they've rebuilt that whole thing out of chromoly, so they'll never have that problem again. And they've never had that problem. So I don't think it was actually fatigue. I just think it goes to show how fast Cameron was actually driving the car.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to seeing how the and if you guys don't, well, Randall's Instagram is Ecto Sports, which I tagged on my Instagram today, which I spelled his name incorrectly because I think you did it
intentionally.
So amazing.
I hate you guys.
Also,
it's not a hard name to spell either, Josh.
I swear, it's not Randall.
You spelled it wrong too, Matt.
On purpose. I did it on purpose because I'm being funny. But follow Randall because he's definitely worth a follow. He does some pretty epic stuff.
And you can also see him on Laser Nut Racing and Laser Town. Is it Laser Town JV?
Correct.
Which there's some good times to be seen.
Oh my goodness, we just had an awesome New Year's party.
Yes, that looks quite
New Year's party.
But all good that you can see Randall at those, and obviously the involvement in RC and full size goes.
He's got a lot of hats. He's got a lot of hats,
right?
Randall. Yeah.
I do.
Josh,
not wearing one.
No, not today. Not today. Real quick, Josh. Your Method 101s over there, the 1.9s, will they fit over an axial portal?
Depends on the offset that you're using.
Right.
Yes, just depends on the offset.
I think you have to go higher than 350. Maybe 475 actually.
I think 475 you're 100% safe.
Yeah, there you go. That's the answer you were looking for.
Yeah, but and it's Ecto Sports, which is ECTO.
Yes.
Sports. Yes.
Ecto Sports.
Usually when my company is Ecto Ventures, ECTO Ventures. If anybody wants to follow that one as well.
In case you want to go jeeping.
In case you want to go jeeping, go exploring. Another reason I'm enjoying being out here in Hurricane is because I can get out and explore, and there's a whole bunch of new trails and a whole bunch of freedom out here that you just don't have to worry about over there in SoCal.
Nice. Ian Turbot says that he wanted to tell you, Randall, you just made another Rift sale. He just pre-ordered one.
Yes, thank you very much. It is an awesome car. I actually love it. The project went through many hands. It was a little bit difficult because it was heavily engulfed in the transition times. So it wasn't really one man's project so to speak. But it did fall in my lap, and it was my first ground up project. Not really.
That's an interesting. So what's the timeline? What was the timeline on this part? We've talked before about timelines.
I'm curious about that,
how they
actually.
can be, 12 to 18 months, but that sounds like this one might have been longer.
I would have to do some digging to find out when I started working on it, but it was back at the old office, so it's been more than a year, I think.
Well, you were at the old office for a while.
Yeah, I was there
until
it was
after the transition of Horizon had already owned Axial, but the physical transition of closing the. What was that off? That wasn't the Goodyear office. That was the.
I just called the Mission Viejo office.
Yeah, Viejo office.
I can't remember before. Name.
Yeah, and now you were to the Ontario office now, right?
Yeah. Was. So, yeah. Well, now I'm at the Hurricane office. Hurricane.
Randall, do you guys have a date on the sway bar and lockers?
They should be on the boat already.
Okay.
Yeah, they should be on the boat. The hardest thing, and I'll tell everybody, the hardest thing is product shipping.
Yeah.
Right. And we've had these meetings several times, and it's just kind of across the board in the industry, and not even only the RC industry. I've actually been hearing about it with furniture. We've ordered new furniture here, and it's trickling in, couch by sofa, by love seat, by entertainment center, by bookshelf. Like, we don't get anything, and it's just because of the shipping channels are super, super busy. That product just takes extra long to get over here. And I just heard in a meeting, whenever it was, that they can't get empty containers back to overseas quick enough. So that's becoming like a premium. You want a container, you're going to have to pay extra if you want the container now, because they can't get containers fast enough.
Wow.
So it's just this crazy. The market has changed. The sales market has changed so much. It's just interesting to see, like I don't know. You showed a part that took from December till now to get whatever that. I won't even say the brand, but whatever that.
Yes.
That peace looking symbol that you had was.
Well, it's funny. It's funny you say that though, because it came from California. So.
Yeah, that was just
That wasn't an overseas problem. That was just a California problem.
But you're not in the States, so maybe that's the problem.
No, that's also not the problem. Anyway.
But yeah, it's tough.
And I'm sure
the sway bar, the 2-speed kit, everything's
right.
coming.
And then after all of that stuff gets released, then you'll see the parts starting to come through. And will the tires be offered separately? Yeah, obviously, probably, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I've heard a lot of good compliments about the tires. I think we pretty much nailed it on the tires. It's not a crawler tire, sticky compound, so to speak, but it's up really well to the 4S and the 3S power. Yeah, and I think it's going to bite the traction really good.
They stand up a little bit better than like a super soft compound, so the lugs don't fold as much. You can hear them. You can hear them kind of ripping away.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is kind of that blend between the trail rig and the basher. It's not a truck I would call a trail rig. It's not. I wouldn't say it's impossible. Of course, you could walk in front of it or walk behind it on a trail, but I don't think that's where it should live. But in the dirt hills and things like that, it's a beast, and it's a lot of fun.
I'm glad you like it. I gave it to in the testing stages. I actually gave some early versions to a couple of rock bouncer guys. And I was a little bit concerned, and this is why we went with high speed in the transmission out of the box. I was a little bit concerned that it wouldn't be enough horsepower and enough wheel speed. And they came back with like, dude, there's more than enough wheel speed with this thing. And they were like, we're conquering hills that our built RC bouncers couldn't conquer, and this car is just crushing it. So I wound up a little bit relieved, like, okay, this is pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good point too, is like custom rock bouncers, metal frames, things like that. Like, this truck is likely going to do better than a lot of those, because for one, metal frames are cool for what they are. I really like metal frame trucks, but metal frame is a metal. It's weight. It's this whole thing, and they offer their own cool factor and points and things like that. But the lightweight,
that thing just
side of a plastic chassis it's a very different.
In both Josh's video and Greg's video over at RC Driver, there were things that this truck was doing that I was like, yeah, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it takes a little bit to get used to driving it. Josh, you can probably relate since you've driven it. It's a different beast, right? It's not just the standard, FIS four-wheel drive car, or a basher, with big white, big giant tires and a wide stance and all that stuff. It's a different rig, so you got to drive it. You can't just kind of point and shoot it.
Yeah, and I've tried a one-hand drive a lot. That's just what how I do with these type of vehicles generally. This one, I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm going to run stationary cameras and drive it a little
on to this bad boy.
Let's switch gears.
You can still do it. It's just like really aiming it.
Let's switch gears for a second. SCX24. We've seen a few different variations now, Randall. The Jeeps, of course, the Deadbolt. I see the Betty, of course. Is that all there is so far? Am I missing one? I don't think that. I think that's all of them.
Deadbolt, Jeeps, the C10,
right? The C10,
C10, Deadbolt, and the
okay.
Betty. Yeah.
Right.
Will we?
That's all there is.
So far, see, there you go. You're already answering our question. So, will there be others? And do you see with the success? With the success of the Betty, would you do another release of that one, or is that done with the 10,000?
That's done? A limited edition.
So that's it. No more.
That's it.
Wow.
You can get the clear body.
Yeah.
You can get the wheels and tires if you want to make a Betty. You can, but there's not going to be there's not going to be another B17 Betty release.
Cool.
That's it.
That's pretty amazing.
That was cool. That was a cool release. I like that.
Yeah, me too.
Thank you. We talked about that and we stuck to it pretty hard because we wanted to keep the nostalgia and the value of the limited edition B17 Betty what it is.
All right, number 5 stays in the box then.
Yeah. I've got like 4 number 4s, but they're all prototypes and they're all ugly. I don't have a pretty one.
I need a set of those frame rails, Randall. So I can be cooler than that.
Right?
You could be cooler than me on your coolest day with an electrified cooling machine.
I know he's got a Milwaukee
pack.
What the F box?
Yeah,
so.
pack out. Oops.
Yeah, pack out.
You win, Josh.
Pack it out, bro.
I'll quit.
Oh wait, you know what? I wrote down another comment actually, Josh, just for you because you were talking about that whole CNC and CAD drawn foam inserts and all that stuff, right? Can you do one for a fanny pack?
Ooh, I could.
Like, could you custom fit fanny pack with like a wallet slot and like a coin pouch and keys for the car? Like, come on.
I say let's do it. Let's get on that, Josh.
I definitely ordered enough foam to be able to handle that, I think. Because, it was just as cheap to order a roll as it was to get just
That's great.
But, I think
SCX24 stuff.
The popularity's been awesome.
Yeah, it's been really, really great. I've been thrilled to watch the numbers of sales on that project come out. So
I think the biggest hurdle has been supply.
As always.
I mean, a lot of things in our hobby the last 14 months have been that way. And it's amplified by the price point of the SCX24 and then the following that it's gained, and which is it just all snowballs.
Yeah. It's supply and demand. I mean, it is hard. I mean, it really, if you think about it, and Josh, you can probably relate to this just because of your day job. When you make a wheel and you have a machine that will make 500 wheels a day or whatever, we'll just say 50 wheels a day, and then all of a sudden you get 500 or 1,000 units on order, you're like, well, my machine only makes 50. So
now I know how many days it's going to be.
And it's one of those, right. And it's one of those things like, well, it's like, perfect. Then you add another machine. You're like, well, yeah, but a machine is $1 million. Yes. And I have to sell
I have to sell all
500,000 of these to pay for it with because it's not all profit. Like you can't. It's not always just like add another machine. Like those are big decisions, and the factories are going to have those same type of things. So
I totally agree, and we're constantly trying to get ahead of the demand on the product, but the SCX24 line has been fantastic, right? We have so much support in the market. There's so many aftermarket parts for it. There's so many people that are doing 3D or additional whatever variety of CAD bodies and chassis and stuff like that. It's like you can't not keep going with it. So
agreed.
It's really good.
I'm looking forward to actually diving into a 24 scale, which I have not said that. What's that?
Do you have any of them?
I have 4 right now because I can't
I've got
stop.
4 too.
Oh,
so
but mine are in different stages. I
bought 2 of them.
I've got 2 Bettys.
So you got one in the box.
Number 5 is in the box. Okay, cool. That stays in the box. Then I've got.
What's the other one?
I took the C10 and I put the prototype body you sent on it.
Oh yeah,
I'm pretty happy with that. I made a couple of. That one's pretty much stock, and then of course I've got the Micro Shark.
Oh yeah, the Micro Shark.
Which is an amazing
Those are fun to race.
Conversion. I love this thing so much.
Those are fun to race.
Rex Racer 19 on
IG.
Instagram. His Instagram is Rex Racer 19. He did this conversion, and this is a fully printed cage. You keep the frame rails and the axles and most of the links and the drive shafts and all the electronics, but everything else is completely original. And it's the amount of design work that went into this is incredible, and it's great to see. I put this one still has the Nittos on it.
It is okay.
From the Jeep, gotcha. Those are a little bit bigger too.
Yeah, which that's why I like them, because they kind of fit scale wise with this cage.
Yeah, I agreed.
Whereas the C10's crawler TAs look amazing on the Jeep, I gotta say, with the method.
Right.
Yeah, they proportionate.
301s, I think these are.
So has anybody, and I guess this would be a comment question maybe, how are the rock lizards doing for everybody? Do you like the way that they perform?
That will be
interesting to hear. I haven't driven mine yet either.
But that's for a reason.
Yeah, I just took it out of the box today, Randall. Jeez.
Oh my gosh.
One of them.
Yeah, I got one back there, and my office is bare right. It looks bare right.
Well, you just moved in.
You got to get it all. Yeah, you got to get it all organized and put your strategic shelves placed with backlighting.
Yeah. Yes. What light is that, by the way? I need one of those.
It's a cool RGB light that goes on a little tripod.
All right.
Nerd.
Exactly.
Send me the link for that.
Nerd.
No.
Yes, I like it. No, the SCX24 stuff I think really has been CCX in here. He was talking. He's like, they need a SMT24, which, I think that if you were going to do an SMT24, you'd almost want to use the what was the not Durtrax?
Oh, the ECX Barrage.
The Barrage, because of ring and pinion. Yeah. I think that the worm gear axles would be a little
jerky on a monster truck.
Yeah.
So if we made an SMT24, would you want it to pull off backflips?
No, definitely not. No fun. It shouldn't be any fun at all.
Because because if it's going to pull off backflips, then you have to increase the horsepower, right?
Yeah. Long can motors. Okay, I could see it.
Yep. All right. Get Holmes on it. Let's do this.
Now, I'm just saying, like, I can imagine the little fold-up cars that could come in the box.
Paper. You could just know little tinfoil
crushers.
Ones.
Yeah, tinfoil crusher cars. Do you remember those chocolate candies that were NASCARs? Right, you could unwrap those. Oh my gosh, they were little. They were just little cars, and inside was like a crackle candy bar, and it was in the shape of a car. You could take that tinfoil and make it into a car, and then you have crushable.
I would just cars. Put the tinfoil over my Matchbox cars. Crush those.
There you go. Did you ever smash Matchbox cars with a hammer?
Absolutely, all the time.
Totally.
We definitely we used a lot more fireworks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's what I use on my
your
static models.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hairspray on your static
A
models?
couple of M80s. Good to go.
See, yeah. I did that with static models as well, except they were just all white still. You know, since I didn't I just built it.
Didn't even bother.
Never did. And if I did, always did them when they were fully assembled.
Right.
Oh, I missed more fishing. Thank
you. There was a lot of comments that flew by. Everybody said the rock lizard tires are working
great.
So that's cool.
Great. Good.
I'm excited.
More fishing. Thank you very much. Would you guys ever think of doing XJ40 and doing a XJ with a AR45 axles? For the front pumpkin offset and hard body. And
hard body? No, they're not going to do a hard body.
No.
And that's coming from me, who would love for them to do one, but they're not going to. Hard bodies are expensive, guys, and to put that into a kit or an RTR that's going to have limited appeal because you cannot please everybody with a hard body, there's always going to be somebody that goes, I want a Toyota, or I want a Chevy, or I want a Ford Ranger. There's going to be...
I want a Land Rover.
Right, there's always going to be...
94 Dodge Ram.
Where's my Kia Sportage? You know, people are always going to want that. It's never going to happen.
More fishing. He sent that in a super chat because he knew I wouldn't have been able to read past the, do you think they'll do an XJ?
So we did the XJ.
Yep.
Yes.
We did a Blazer.
Now you've also done Jeeps.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
Wranglers.
But Axial offers a Jeep?
I know, they're cool. I agree. Like, Wranglers are cool. Yeah. It's fine.
I still find it amazing. The Jeep Wrangler is the only vehicle in the world that is referred to as a Jeep.
Right.
There's no other vehicle. You don't refer to a C10 as a Chevy. Right. You don't refer to a Ranger as a Ford or an F-150 as a Ford. Alone. If you say I own a Jeep,
everybody knows what you're talking about.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's the only one.
David,
so amazing.
Or a compass, Randall. So don't discount the compass. All right.
Yeah.
I've taken mine when I had it some pretty extreme places.
Yeah.
So like down fire roads
with those sunglasses.
Yeah.
Dave says,
we once got lost on our way to Fallingwater in Pennsylvania. So just say
you had to make rough U-turns on a gravel road. Before Randall leaves with 2 L's, will we ever see a correlation?
Correlation.
Correlation.
You couldn't even get that word right.
No, I'm reading I think he means collaboration. Sorry.
Yeah.
With Vanquish and Axial and Spectrum with a 4S19 crawler.
Wow. Really?
No, that's a lot of reach all at once.
No.
Absolutely not.
No.
Right.
Actually, no. The answer is ew. No.
If it ever came across the product suggestion list internally, I would just hit the delete button.
No.
If it means I have to work with Josh, ew.
It sounds fantastic. I mean, I don't personally own Vanquish axles, so I would actually.
I don't know that is that true?
I don't own Vanquish axles.
Oh, housings maybe. Okay.
Josh,
and I set you up with the bomber.
Get him a set of
no housing shafts.
Get him a set of axles already. Jeez.
Right. Well, he was setting it up for 5K. You can't run them.
Get him a set for the Gladiator. Jeez.
Why don't you just make me a set for the Rift? True. Hey.
I'm sure you can phone Triel. I'm sure they
Eric,
already.
For the 75 MX.
Oh.
Which I don't know what those are, but it sounds interesting.
MX is.
Please make it Ford, Axial. There you go. Now,
please make a Ford?
The F100. They did make a Ford.
Yeah.
Was that the first? Was that the only Ford?
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Curacao?
Because there was.
It's the Curacao dollar.
Ooh, that's pretty cool.
Neat.
But yeah, so that's kind of surprising, especially with how fan of Broncos as Matt always was. I mean,
and he owned a Blazer.
Right.
Yeah. What a weirdo.
Yeah,
well, he bought it because it was green.
Yeah, exactly. But I
It
guess
matched the license plate he owned already.
Yeah. The Deadbolt and the Wraith 19, which is basically the same thing, basically had the Bronco shaping that he
Bronco
wanted,
shape.
but not a Bronco.
Correct.
Yep.
So, I guess he kind of got there, even though he didn't get there.
Who knows what the future holds?
Ooh,
There's got to be one. A 2021 Broncos around the corner. I know it.
I hope not.
I know.
20. What do you like those?
2020. I don't. Early Bronco all day.
Yeah.
I'll take an early Bronco all day. Love them.
Yeah. Old Broncos, yes.
Ford Broncos.
New Bronco, no.
Not a fan.
I'm still not. I think it's a hard hit on like the old FJ Cruiser. Or I shouldn't say the old FJ Cruiser, the FJ Cruiser.
Yeah. Which wasn't good either.
Hey.
No.
Don't
I don't
disparage the FJ Cruiser.
I will.
Okay.
I didn't like them. Matt had one of those too.
Matt had one of those? I did not remember that. Before his Dodge or what?
Yeah.
His 94 Dodge Dakota?
Yeah, before that. It was not a Dakota. I had a Dakota. But it wasn't a 94.
And then let's see, what else what tiny little car did he buy after that? Like as a commuter car, like at Access.
Oh yeah, he had something
not
good.
It was like it wasn't a mini.
Oh man,
it was a little convertible.
It was the
not the Carmi.
It was the Solstice.
Solstice.
Yeah. With the luggage rack on the back.
No, it didn't.
Yeah, it had a little
Yikes.
Convertible. That was great.
At least you didn't say like Toyota Solara or something.
It's close.
Perry G, thanks for the $5. Since Red Cat has now passed Axial in the lowrider market, how will you respond?
We responded with a Rift.
Yeah. No, Axial's got a new drift car coming out soon.
Yeah. I
think Axial needs to do the same thing. They need to get into an area that there's no other RC cars available. Rock Bouncer, I would agree. I'll give you that. But it has to be less
wide appeal. Something really niche.
Less useful.
Maybe they could compete with Kyosho on the Surfer.
Zamboni.
Oh, the Zamboni.
Zambonis.
A functional Zamboni.
On board with the Zamboni though, because
I know,
I'm a hockey fan.
That's kind of cool.
Godar, thank you again. He says, just imagine a sweet 1977 Ford Ranger F-250. I think
that is a thing. That would actually look pretty good.
Dana wants to know.
You know what? We'll even let you have this one, but maybe you guys could consider, as Dana suggested here, an RC PC.
Ah, yeah. Get into the market,
actually, dude. I'm waiting for you to finish yours. I don't think you've finished it yet.
No.
But because I used to be an IT consultant and I used to build custom PCs, I was very intrigued with what you were doing and how it was going to come about, because there was a lot of technical roadblocks that came to mind real quickly in my head when you said you were going to do it and started building it. I'm like, how's he going to...
Don't even worry about it. It's all right here.
Wait, how I don't see how that's going to... all right, I'm going to wait and see.
There. Done.
See, Matt has done it, but
it works.
Sure.
Have you posted yet?
No.
Okay, me either.
Can you move your camera closer to that thing?
No. I can move the trailer closer to you, probably.
That's it. That's a freaking great idea, guys. By the way,
thanks.
I think that's awesome.
It is fun. It's just very odd because it's so opposite to Matt. Because Matt usually worries about looks first and then performance. But on this one, he was just like, I don't care what it looks like. I guess.
Yeah, I do not care at all.
Wow. What is the ribbon work? Holy cow.
It's a 600 millimeter PCI Express cable, so we can actually have the video card not on the motherboard.
Exactly. Did you pin that out yourself?
Nope. That was a purchasable item.
Okay. I used to have to make those.
Now we're
So-
talking about
gosh.
how old Randall is.
Yeah, stop it. Yeah, I was back in the day of IDE computer systems.
Oh yeah.
Neat.
I am looking forward to getting this one done.
Yeah,
as well.
Josh has put a
I
lot
do
more
have
effort into making his look good,
Wow.
but
Yeah, Josh, yours appears much bigger than Matt's.
I've heard that
Yes.
before. It's the camera angle.
So right. Camera adds
Perspective.
15
I
pounds.
see your Schwartz is as big as mine.
So-
That's cool.
But yeah, it's a lot. I don't know why we thought it was.
I don't.
And it will be attached. It will be attached to a vehicle that runs, so it can pull it.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Correct.
Yeah.
All right.
Like
Yeah.
here,
That's
this is
awesome.
you probably can't see the truck, but here's the truck or tractor, I guess. So it's all contained
That's
in
awesome.
one place, and the only thing that should really need to get plugged in is the power cable. And that's it.
Right.
Everything else is
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
all in there.
So
I
is there a battery backup on that computer?
No,
So I did look at that.
it's
And
huge.
it turned out it was going to be very expensive.
Oh yeah, right.
I was like, maybe if I can get one, it'll just run it for like 20 minutes. And I was like,
No, you wouldn't even
oh,
get
this
20
actually
minutes.
kinda adds up.
I think you get 5 minutes. Those things are so ridiculously
Yeah.
expensive and not very effective.
That's pretty
Yeah.
rad. So if I don't know, I'd be interested if you guys ever sell those. That'd be interesting to see if those computers would actually work well.
Oh, well, we're going to
they-
do a whole benchmarking.
They're very nice.
Like
art.
at the end of the day, it's
Okay.
all benchmarked, and we're going to like make sure that our thermals are in good places. And
Windows based.
yeah, it's
Yep.
EVGA motherboards. We're both running i5 processors, 16 gigs of RAM, 500 gig SSD, M2 hard drives.
SSDs, yeah.
It's legit. It's like a full-on gaming PC,
Cool.
2060 KOs, so we can play most modern games on it. It's
That is cool.
yeah,
It's basically the same computer that I use in here. For
right. Yeah, same
know,
here.
CAD design and streaming. The whole
Yeah,
deal.
it's a water cooled AIO block on the CPU. Like they're legit systems. No joke.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Looking
I
forward
was
to
intrigued.
to getting those.
Yeah. Me too.
We,
I got a couple
still-
more things
still
to
quite
do.
a bit of work left to do. Yeah, right.
couple more episodes before we actually do any of the actual benchmarking, but we're getting there.
Yeah.
It's
So
That's cool.
yeah.
it's
Definitely
all
fun.
it'll all come about though. I think that they've actually kind of formed into what they were supposed to be, even a little quicker than what we thought. Now there's still a lot of details left, but the vision of it, I was just like, man, this is a ways away from where I thought. And then it all kind of came together. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, mine's got a monitor on the side, and then it has a projector on the back.
Oh, rad. Now that's kind of cool.
Yeah, my
Projector on the back.
my monitor is going to be on the back of the actual tractor, and it'll have some of the coil cables to connect it, so it'll actually look
Sure.
semi-accurate.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Semi.
Semi.
It's one of those challenges where we were like, it's not like anybody's going to win, but the result is going to be so cool. And I think in the best case scenario, neither of us are going to end up keeping them. I think it's probably going to end up, they're going to go to EVGA and they'll take them on the road, or they'll promote
Right.
them. And, because, I mean,
That's cool.
between Tamiya and EVGA, they put up pretty much everything. We're doing a lot of the construction.
Is that
and
a Canadian word? Tamiya?
that's how it's
Yeah,
pronounced,
right?
sir.
Huh. All right. I don't know. I'm just asking.
Yeah.
At least I don't say it. At least I don't say it wrong like Josh. Tamiya.
Is it Tamiya? Tamaya?
I always
Tamiya?
said
What do we got?
I always said Tamiya.
That's what I thought.
but it's Tamiya.
Oh, all right. Good to know.
We ended up talking to the guys from Tamaya, and they were like, no, it's not how you say it.
It's
Yeah.
Tamiya.
I won't ever get it right. I'll still screw
Yeah,
it up.
it's fine.
Like, it's already saved in here. Like, this is write once, read only. Like,
Yeah.
Tony from CCXRC said he'd just stick a Mac Mini in the trailer and close it up and be done.
yeah.
That's not how it works.
Might as well throw your
Tony.
cell phone in there.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
then it'd just be a Mac.
Yeah. Ugh. Even I don't like
And
Macs
Matt and
anymore.
I were both Mac
Yeah.
people until
34
recently.
years on Macs.
You're not a Mac person now?
No, I have a
No,
full-on
I've
PC.
I
Oof.
left.
Oof.
So I have a MacBook Pro, like a 2017, decked MacBook Pro. But that's probably the last Mac that I'll buy. And the only thing that I'll miss, I think, is iMessage on my laptop.
Same. That's the only thing I miss.
Sure.
It's the only thing.
I will greatly miss that. But I still use my MacBook every day. But once it's time to actually move on from that, I think that is the only thing that I'll miss is iMessage.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm not leaving my iPhone.
No.
I
Can't.
I left iPhones and went to Android for a little bit, and then I came back.
Yeah.
I'm like, nope.
That's the one thing I haven't switched yet. I'm still on a Samsung
Huh.
Android, but
I know, green bubbles.
normally on a Mac.
Yeah, green.
Yep, I switched to Mac a while
bubbles,
back.
gross. Brent Hefner, thanks for the $2.
Text Randall today, I was like, oh, it's green.
Ew. Brent, thanks for the $2 and thanks for the Spaceballs reference. No problem. If you want movie references from movies Josh has never seen, you come to the right place.
Yeah. I should probably watch Spaceballs, I guess.
Yeah, you should.
But
then you can understand 90% of my comedy.
yeah, still won't be funny.
Still won't be funny. I was gonna say that. It's
Gene
still kind of
Masters
dry.
Gene Masters thinks he says he wants actually to look at some of the Aussie 4x4s. Now, which is I know I follow some of that, like the TTC. You ever watch Jesse Haynes when he goes down there?
Duh.
You're right. That's a whole nother world of. I mean, honestly, that's like Flex Friday.
Yeah.
To the
in real
extreme.
life.
Yeah.
Which I'm not a big fan of. I get where they're after for their types of events, but I still prefer U.S. We Rock style.
Yeah.
If anything, I would just wish that Randall and the team would take a Pretty Penny.
Yeah, take Pretty Penny down there.
Hey, Pretty Penny's made by Jesse Haynes, so
I would just I wouldn't say it as an axial vehicle.
Oh.
I know the Capra was in that vein, but I would like to see a more appropriately scaled moon buggy chassis, maybe Capra width, 4-wheel steer portal,
but really tiny little
buggy.
cage.
No.
Yeah.
No?
Well, single seater.
Single seater.
I'd want
yeah.
Not
Capra
really tiny, but
yeah, single seater. But once you take a single seater and if you appropriately scaled it to a set of Capra axles,
Oh, I see what
It's
you're
not
saying.
actually that tiny.
Yeah. It's tiny in stature compared to something like the Capra. It's smaller than a Capra cage.
it would be it
it'd be
actually
bigger
wouldn't
than
be.
a
Yeah, it wouldn't be smaller than the Capra. It would actually be about the cage work would be about the same size, proportionately to the axles. So
right.
It would
probably be a little bit
bigger.
taller.
Yeah.
It would be as the Capra. I think that's part of it. The scale of the Capra cage is way off.
To the axles.
Yeah.
As far as anything like that goes, it's way too small in general. If you did a Pretty Penny, it would end up being quite a bit taller. A little bit, the width would probably be about the same. The length would probably be about the same, but the shaping would change so much. But
right. So are you guys going to do a Rift build off if Matt ever gets one?
I think that we usually do like to do those. But the big thing with those is that you have to wait quite a while before you can really do those well, because you have to have the option.
Yeah, you got to get the
to be able to
parts.
sustain the weekly thing. So
6 to 8 months.
Yeah, well, I mean, even like an SCX 10.3 right now, it's
it's at the point we
can
can
do
do a
it
budget
now.
build with that.
Gotcha.
So it is one of those things you need that base, you need options and multiple types of options to be able to fit through areas.
Cool.
And I think that.
But I mean, yeah, we're game.
It's
sure.
Absolutely possible.
Send me a Rift. We'll do one.
I think that.
Yeah, Matt's like, whatever it takes. I'd like a Rift.
Agree now.
CCXRC, thanks for the $5. $5 to squeeze in a Dumb and Dumber reference. Pretty Bird.
No, it's Cardigan. Thanks for asking.
I mean, aren't you guys the host of the show?
Pretty Bird. Pretty bird. Paul, you want a cracker?
I will say that I think you could sell a lot of those axial flannels if you.
Yeah, agreed.
So I wore this specifically for you guys because Matt was talking about his heated vest thing the other day, and when you guys went live, you both had a hoodie and whatnot on, and I'm like, you know what? I just got this today from Boss Man, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna sport this today because it's pretty rad. I do have an axial shirt on, but
I'm texting him right now, and I'm gonna say Randall said I could have one.
Yeah.
I'm staying at the mailbox still. Where's it at?
So I don't know if people like it. It's actually really, really comfortable. If people like it, I guess if they made enough noise, I might actually produce it.
If they're similar to the Proline ones, or if
no,
I usually
Prolines would be similar to axials.
Right.
I don't care who came out with it first.
Yeah.
I also like that T-shirt you got on there with the black on black.
That should be available online.
Yeah, well, I like it though, Randall. So.
Oh, I understand.
Put it in the box with the Rift. Jeez.
Yes, as part of the Rift. I gotcha. I'll have to work on that.
Man.
Yeah.
Apparel is hard for us to get.
Oh,
it's crazy.
Yeah.
We'll see some other people wearing it, and we're like, get that. Oh yeah, we've had that for 6 months. We're like, well,
you know what else you guys should sell?
I know about
is massive stickers with the Axial logo that you could put on the actual frame rail of your real truck.
Like a serialized one of 9999.
Exactly. No, don't bother with that. But I've seen a couple people do it, and I've got a Cricut, so I'm just going to cut my own. But that would be definitely something that I think you could get a lot of sales on.
Like the Axial logo on the frame rail. That's a good idea.
Yeah,
I think I'll go for that one. I do have the big. We made the 1-to-1 size 2020 tech stickers.
Yeah, those are awesome.
I have one of those Jeep. Yeah, that's pretty cool. A lot of my pictures.
I laughed out loud when I saw that.
The 3D printed body pin or body post.
Oh yeah, the body post.
Pretty rad.
It's pretty
right
funny.
on the hood.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But
cool.
Nick LaRusso, no, I don't think Proline did the Rift tires. They were done overseas.
The manufacturing of them was done overseas. The design of them was done in-house.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and most of Proline's tires, or all of Proline's tires, are made
USA.
there in the Southern California. What's that shop? Banning, California.
Banning.
So would be quite the cost added to make them there, ship them overseas.
Yeah, we've talked about it, and we did it a long time ago. We used the Proline flat irons on one of our projects a long time ago, and it is a kind of a nightmare shipping back and forth. I mean, you're pretty much paying for shipping twice. So
also used the Proline hammers on the XC1, the ARTR. Remember those?
Yeah,
I don't remember those.
Yes, you're right. I do remember those.
Yeah.
The hammer claw, or
I think it was just the hammers.
Just hammers. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I believe, pretty sure.
John Highfield, thanks for the $5, my man. Appreciate it.
That was those were the two axial tires before they started making their own again.
Oh, yeah, and actually the claw was from the Low C Rock claw. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Low C Rock claw.
So.
And we on the Rift we went the extra step. Everybody's made the TSL bogger and all that stuff, and we took an extra step and we did some custom siping on the tire, which is exactly what the real rock bouncer guys do to the tires as well. So we wanted to kind of replicate that to show that we've done some research.
you even did it, and you left a small section of what would normally be the full tread there, so it looks like
it's
actually
siped.
grew the tire.
It looks like it's siped. That was our intent.
Which looks good, and it was a nice detail. So thank you, John Highfill, as well, for the donation. Appreciate it. No, I think the tires were a big win. They're just a hair under 6 inches tall, like just barely. And when you're driving them, they're probably closer to 7 when they or 8.
The rock bouncer RC rock bouncing competition series, whatever you want to call it, they have a 6-inch tire limitation. So we wanted to stay under that.
Yep.
So we didn't break the bubble.
So it's a shower. No, it's a grower, not a shower.
It's a grower.
I'll see myself out. Good night, everybody.
Don't you have another work emergency?
Like, oh God.
Thanks for the $5, Michael Hopkins. Much appreciated.
So Matt, if you want this shirt,
Yes, sir.
this shirt, if you send me some SPG swag, I'll rough this shirt up for you and send it to you.
All right.
Yeah.
A little sandpapering.
Yes.
You got it. Seriously, though, message me your address and I'll send you some junk.
Yeah. I got to remember. My address is really cool now. Oh, so there's the other. So, no. I almost said it. It's close. The cool thing about my house is it actually sits squared up to north, south, east, west. So I don't know. I found that quite interesting. If you stand in my house and if you're facing my front door, you're facing north. And if you turn around and walk away from my house, you're walking away south. And if you turn left or right, you're literally east and west. So my house is like perfectly square to north,
neat.
south, east, west. I thought it was interesting. You guys might not care. But.
I stand in my house and
I'm just
all those same directions are available to me as well.
But it's not square.
I live at 123 Fake Street.
Yes.
All of the tips you've given us, I'm just going in and I'm going to just take my best get.
I'm gonna answer one. Paul Magler, who's responsible for sending Josh the Black Rift?
Yes.
This guy right here, intentionally.
Make sure that happens for any axial vehicle that goes to Josh from here on out. Never the orange one, ever.
The 1.9 Hemi Storm opens up his and it's an orange 1.9.
He goes, "This is so strange. Why do I have the orange one? Josh should have this."
I'm partial to orange as well, so if that was one of the last few I had, it was not going away.
Nope.
Thanks for the $5, Rourke. Much
Thank
appreciated.
you, Tony.
Thanks, guys.
XRC. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
You should see the first orange. It was actually like a dark burnt.
They called it chip brush orange.
I'm gonna see if I can grab it real quick.
He's got all the prototypes, which is amazing. It's pretty cool.
Right.
Good God.
And the shelf fell over.
He's under all this stuff. Somebody call 911. Oh, there it is.
Okay, here's the regular Rift.
Yeah,
Here's the
okay,
orange.
Right. Oh, I like the old orange better.
Oh my God. That's
The old is like, it's dark.
Yeah.
It's a dark burnt
That's
orange.
much better.
That's the thing. Whenever you show something like this is the one you get, this is the one you can't have. Everyone's always like, I want the one I can't have.
It didn't pop enough. If you ever look at a rock bouncer, if you ever watch Busted Knuckle films or any of the Mad Ram 11 or anything like that,
They're quite bright.
They're vibrant. Yeah. So this didn't quite foot the bill.
Send me the old one.
Oh. I kept one full set of the old orange because I might use it.
Always a safe bet. Like, you know what?
I'm just gonna hang on to this.
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah, I'll just build it up.
Yeah.
You know, no one will know.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, should we end it there?
Yes, we should. Again,
One more.
Randall.
Sorry,
Oh.
one more.
Okay, go ahead.
Perry G said Randall will actually return to KOH for a scale event.
Good question. I think he asked that in my feed too.
Really good question. We had some talks, some initial plans for some things happening at KOH this year, but with the way that the pandemic has affected everyone and everything changing, Axial will not be at KOH this year. We are still sponsoring the event. We are the official RC of Ultra 4 Racing, but we won't have the setup like we've had in the past this year.
Yeah,
Hopefully
just
it'll come back next year.
Being responsible for gathering people,
It's tough.
It's tough to kind of have staff on hand to go subject themselves to a place where they may catch something that they haven't had or don't want to have and stuff like that. So it's kind of a tough one. And even for me, I don't even think I'm going this year to KOH, even on my off time. Just kind of, I'm not a real good spectator when it comes to that stuff, just because I've done the racing and done the Axial stuff and everything before. So I was just kind of like, well, I don't know that I really need to go be there. I was there for Thanksgiving. They did a big, what is that called?
A spirited trail run.
No, not that one. It was called the Backdoor Bash. It takes place every Thanksgiving weekend. And there was a ton of people out there. It's a big party. And I went out there for that, and I kind of walked up to where everybody was. There's no fences, so everybody can get as close as you want to the backdoor obstacle. And I kind of walked up and was like, I don't think I really need to get down in the muck of things. There's a lot of people here that I don't know where or who or why. So
that's fair.
Exactly. Being outdoors and at the Hammers is a huge place. It gets a lot smaller when a lot of people show up, but
for sure,
it's you know what? The one thing is that King of the Hammers has some incredible coverage now.
They sure do. That's one thing where they really shine, and it's amazing that they're able to get all of that gear out there to do like live streaming from the middle of nowhere.
The repeaters that they set up, it's
amazing.
An absolutely amazing operation.
The filmography too, like the drone operators that they have, it's just outrageous. So good. So good.
The live helicopter feeds now. I mean,
it really makes watching that race really, really exciting. And I mean, it's because it's not mainstream, right? It's not like it's on NBC or anything.
It's getting
getting to that point.
They were getting their. They showed it later.
They did one of those CBS Sports or something like that. But it's not.
But it's not live.
It's like a 4-episode thing. Yeah. But is now I can't remember. Is the big race on Saturday this year?
It is on Saturday this year. They moved everything around. Yeah.
Yeah. Which when it's on Friday, I'm like, hey, I'm watching this. Like there's someone's asking me about something they need for I need to build materials for this. I'm like,
go ahead. Leave me alone.
I do that with KOH and I do that with the Red Bull Rampage. Like, well, I gotta kind of watch this.
I'm like, sorry. I got some research.
Yeah.
All right. Let's wrap this up soon.
TV in my office.
But let's ask one final question. Have you watched Flying Cars yet?
I have not.
Oh, come on, man.
So
You've had so much time. What were you moving?
All right, I'm gonna watch it. It's 9:24 here, so
I'll
watch it.
Lots of time
tomorrow night. I'm gonna queue it up. Is it on Prime or Netflix?
I think you might have to buy it through iTunes or Google Play, maybe. I don't know. It might be on YouTube's pay service. You might have to buy it though.
If you guys ever have me back, I will have a review of Flying Cars.
Well, send me a rift and you'll be back.
Wow.
It's just that simple.
It's that easy.
No, you'll be back for sure, 100%. We like talking to you, Randall.
I appreciate the time, guys.
It was
Thank
fun
you.
having you back right after a release of a new project.
Yeah, it's awesome. And, congratulations on that.
We won't make it wait in between those, but I think you're a great guest to have on. We appreciate it very much.
We'll have you back.
There'll always be something to talk about.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, take
care, buddy.
Thanks, Fred.
What a nice fella.
Of course. A great show tonight as well.
Definitely. A very great show. I forgot to tell you about the big thing that I bought this week.
What did you buy? What did you get this week?
I got a new 3D printer on the way.
Oh.
I bought the Prusa i3 Mark III. And man, I'm excited.
So happy.
I'm so excited. And of course, it's like the TiVo Tornado knew that something new had been bought, because now it's operating perfectly. Yeah. Oh.
My life's in danger?
You need me to print stuff? Oh shit. I better get on that. And then it's fine. It's totally fine.
Right away, boss.
Did I say that?
Hit the like button.
Yeah, exactly. Hit the like button, please, and thank you. But I'm so stoked on that printer. Man.
That, because I've wavered on it back and forth. We've both obviously had less expensive printers for some time, and it's one of those things, like, they work. They're not that the same quality though.
No.
And I just want you to have it so you can be like,
it's
as good as you thought.
Get one.
You must have it.
Just in the sheer like automation that it offers. I was reading about how it does its self-leveling, and it actually, even if it goes out of, even if the bed warps for whatever reason, it'll go, oh, okay, that's cool. I know exactly where the warp is, and it just keeps printing. If the power goes out, hey, the power went out, would you like to just start again where you left off?
Right.
Yes, I would.
Yep. And I know for a fact that it's one of those ones that I will, it will be the one that I own. But right now I have to buy a bunch of Milwaukee tools.
So many Milwaukee tools to put in my pack out.
So yes, that is awesome.
Yeah, I ordered direct from Prusa.
Oh my god!
So 3 week leads.
I have to read this.
3 week lead time.
Yeah, I have to read this comment. Shane Eclipse says, "Oh, I forgot to mention I picked up an Ender 3 Pro with upgrades pre-installed over the holiday. I still need to set it up though. So excited to take part in Sundays now."
Oh, nuts!
Shane, if you missed that,
we've got bad news for you.
I have canceled STL Sundays because there just wasn't any growth in that show, and it always just hovered around that 100 or so people live. Sorry. There's still I've got a ton of those designs up there on my Thingiverse. They're still free. It will always be free. So that's and maybe I'll even design stupid, pointless things on my own time. It's much less likely, but
yeah. Please continue to make dumb things. I just bought a new printer.
It's like when you have that like 7-year-old nephew, and he's like, "What? Watch what I can do. Watch what I can do." And he does something like super unimpressive. You're like,
"Yeah, neat."
But I have to have somebody watching me do something pointless. Otherwise, I don't do it.
Is this thing supposed to go this way?
You got that part.
All right.
Back.
Okay.
You just got the wheels backwards.
Don't judge me.
I can't believe you did that.
But it won't turn anyway.
No, it turns. It'll turn 180 degrees.
No, it won't, because this thing,
properly.
This is in the way. Look.
Dude, I printed it myself, and it turns perfectly. You just can't assemble a very well-designed product.
It's like, where's the instructions for this thing? Good thing I didn't build it on like Live Build Sunday or whatever.
Right, like, ah.
All right, folks. Thank you very much for watching. Let's go through and thank all the people. BT, yes. Rollins, Gigermanis, RC Dave Charged Up, Dirk Gordon, Quack RC, RC Dave Charged Up again, Mr. HS. Oop, I missed some there. Perry G, Brent Hevner, CCXRC, John Highfill, Michael Hopkins, and Rourke Ponce. I will be sending in my warranty card when it arrives.
BT, Dale C, Quack RC, RC Dave Charged Up, Andrew Rains, James Bush, Pleco Nation, Jeremy Burris, More Fishing, Dave Bose, Gadar, Eric, Gene Masters, John Highfill. Thank you all very much for your support tonight. Much appreciated, as always. Thanks again, everybody. Hit the like button before you leave. I will still be doing a live stream Friday and Sunday. It'll just be a different stream on Sunday. Matt, you'll be back with Lightroom Live next
Yes,
Tuesday.
correct. This was an anomaly again, but I'll be back next week, and I got another live build coming up as well.
Very cool.
Take care, guys. Love you. Bye.
Good stuff. See you guys later.